Hey, welcome to Hot Takes, everybody. It is young Shiro, and I'm here with the lovely, the critically acclaimed skeleton lipstick.
Oh, it's skeleton lipstick.
We got a great night for you guys. We've got a very, very well loved and very well known member of our community on the roster tonight. A Bee Fant joining us. So to all you new viewers, welcome to Hot Takes. Hot Takes is a vaporwave talk show where we talk about vaporwave, but lots of other stuff too. We love to argue, we love to debate, we love to geek out about everybody's favorite art and music on Hot Takes. We also like to keep the questions flowing in the chat for our illustrious guest. What we don't like to do is name calling, shit talk. Well, shit talking is actually okay. But just try to punch up, no punching down. To all you regulars, thank you so much for being here. I see a lot of awesome people in the chat. Welcome back. We're glad to have the Hot Takes Horde back on Monday night. Just a couple quick reminders before we talk about recommendations and get the hot take for tonight, and then get on to our night with our guest. If anybody's too loud or too quiet, let me know. If the music is too loud or too quiet, if anything's not working, if anyone's frozen, if you want to know what the song is that's playing, etc., let me know in chat. Couple things. If you hit ! donate, the link to our donation portal comes up. Donations are optional, but they're very much appreciated. All donations go towards equipment upgrades and commissioned art, like the art that Bee Fant did for us for last season, or the PJ Rourke art, Sega Octopus. We're commissioning a new ad to DS Dude right now. And that's all thanks to our regular donors, like Be Careful, Luxury Noise, Chase, Leo, and some other awesome people. If you had exclamation, yeah, if you had exclamation Skelly or exclamation Shiro, you can find our link trees and follow us. And then, of course, any emotes you type in show up on the screen. We're also going to be pinning questions on the screen as well. And I think that about sums it all up. Just keep it live in the chat. Invite your friends. Tweet about us. Put it on Facebook. Put it on YouTube. Put it on any social media. If you want to get your friends involved, we would love to have them on the show. We're going to start tonight off with a couple recommendations, courtesy of me. As you know, Skelly and I are both DJs. We constantly dig in the crates, finding new work to showcase. And so I've got 3 of my favorite finds recently, and they are all sponsored by the letter D. For whatever reason, I really like to find albums by artists that start with the same letter. Actually, I think... No, the first one is by the letter D. Orange Milk Records, run by our very own Keith Rankin, right? Really eccentric record label full of a lot of experimental music that frankly is pathfinding, groundbreaking music, right? There's a particular artist that I just caught wind of recently called Diamond Soul. Never heard Diamond Soul before.
Familiar.
I wasn't either. It's extremely chaotic, almost unclassifiable as far as genre, but lots and lots of like MIDI work, but also just I don't even really know how to describe Diamond Soul other than it's chaotic and lots of fun. The album's called Cloud Reality. I'm going to drop a link to it right here, and you can find it on Orange Milk Records. I really wish I had a better description for what it sounds like other than there's a lot of MIDI and it's extremely chaotic. It's vapor adjacent, and I highly recommend you guys check out Cloud Reality by Diamond Soul if you want to hear some weird shit. Another album. None of these are like modern albums, by the way. I just find stuff and just recommend it. That's all. Going back to, I want to say 2017, during the hard vapor era, which I completely panned. Hot take, I did not like hard vapor. I've never really liked happy hardcore or gabber, and some of the marketing and PR around hard vapor was just kind of not really my style. So as a fan of deconstructed club music and a lot of the like harder, angrier, more bombastic club music, I've kind of taken a second look at some of the acts. You're right. It was a 2016.
You, man. Good for you. Well, I think that is actually the reaction people should always have to things they dismiss. whether it be
absolutely
that movement or any movement ever in the musical sphere. It's like if you dismiss something, you're like, I don't like it from your initial perspective.
Yeah,
take a breather from it. You know what I mean? Yeah, you don't have to like it right away. But take a breather from it, but then I don't know, maybe eventually be like, okay, let me reassess. You know what I mean?
I am always down to have my mind changed.
After your initial first impression, it's always good to go back and read. And then usually you go back and you're like, oh, this is interesting right here. Oh, this is interesting right there. Yeah. That always happens. You know what I mean?
I'm really glad you agree, man. And there are, of course, some players in that scene that I'm not crazy about. Also, Shiny Crystal Pistol, you're right. It was mostly 2016. And I want to just highlight my favorite find in that scene is DJ Alina with the album Maniacs.
DJ Alina is a pretty quintessential, artist from that.
DJ Alina, in my opinion, has... Oh my God! Thank you for the generous donation, right? Chase. $40 from Mossy Frog Tapes. Unreal. Thank you, buddy. Love that guy. Maniacs by DJ Alina. If you like angry, scary, bombastic, very industrial sounding, you gotta check out DJ Alina. It's not a secret if you go on their Discogs. DJ Alina is Liz from SPF 420. And it kicks ass. The album just bangs.
It's really good.
It's hard, it's angry, it's scary, and if you like that sort of thing, you need to check out Maniacs by DJ Alina. And then my last one tonight is all of these are kind of vapor adjacent, but this one is a bit of a stretch. Artist I discovered via Elemental 95, a now defunct breaks and lo-fi house label run by Mael and Devin from the Vape Council. Elemental 95 released a handful of really solid breaks and lo-fi house albums, and one of the artists that was released was a guy called Doesn't Matter. Just one word, Doesn't Matter, no punctuation, anything. And I have followed his career ever since discovering his work via Elemental 95, and everything I find by him just gets progressively better. I want to recommend an album by Doesn't Matter called Catalog 05. If anybody likes warped, warbled, retro synth fonts or sound fonts, but with a danceable beat, this one is for you. And it's also got a lot of kind of trap and Memphis 808 type stuff going on in it too. So it's just a fun time, and the guy is really, really good at writing melodies. So between those three, hopefully you guys have something to go on for this week. I'm gonna yield the floor to Skelly with tonight's hot take.
Okay, let's think. All right, so let's see. A couple of things I want to talk about, I guess. First thing is okay. So I had this thought, and it was basically, so there's an artist in the scene that I'm a big fan of, and apparently they have a YouTube or video channel where they have make all this kind of content that's in the more of the analog horror world. They did apparently had some sort of plot twist in one of their. I've actually never watched any of their YouTube output. I'm only familiar with them as producer, and they put out this. They do this analog horror thing that's they have a big following with. Apparently, there was basically a portion in one of the more recent videos that I guess was dealt with a more sensitive subject that some people thought was inappropriate or in bad taste, and they got a lot of flack for it. And two things, it really apparently this producer took it really hard, and almost considered removing their entire internet presence over these people making comments about the video they made. And so two things. One is okay, so I'm not familiar with the channel. I do know it's horror, and in my opinion, horror, this is a sort of a, in my opinion, horror is sort of something where, it's fucking horror. And I understand that there can be some stuff that people might not find tasteful, but that's in all horror. And at the end of the day, horror is a place where, you kind of go, to sort of, safely purge your anxieties about taboos and have some form of catharsis from it, right? Like, this is a little ridiculous. I understand that people can be hurt by certain things or subject matters, but it's fucking horror. Like, this is where you go to have catharsis. This is where you go to purge things and to purge your anxieties. And I don't really feel like there should be too many boundaries within it. And, you know, bad taste is oh fuck, am I losing?
No, you're here.
Okay, good.
We got you.
And I don't know. I really do feel like that's a place where, you know, I mean, lots of horror is full of things that are bad taste. One of my, and it's so funny because a lot of it's pretty critically acclaimed. One of my favorite films is Climax by Gaspar Noé, and
oh damn,
you know, right? Have you seen it?
No, but that guy's really good at horrifying.
Yeah, it's really horrifying. But that's where you go to purge things.
He made Irreversible,
the
right?
Darker, like you gotta like the things in the darker regions of the mind. They need to be, you know, they actually do need to be allowed to have some breath, and there are ways to do things that are, you know, very, you know, difficult subject matters or things that are almost feel exploitational in a way that can be done in an artful manner. And you know, I'm very sorry, but I think it's ridiculous when people are trying to judge horror by the same standards you might judge other things. So that's one. But two,
yeah, I see that.
But it's dumb. Like, seriously, give me a fucking break. You're gonna be triggered by something in a horror film? Get the fuck out of here! Shut up.
Damn.
Anyway, it's fucking horror. Jesus Christ! Could it be any clearer?
Time for
what
the
you're in
air
for potentially. I don't. It's silly. But the thing that's much sillier to me is that, or not silly, but really upsetting to me is that you know, because you know, if you feel like your internet presence is being compromised by something, by just maybe a few people, like you know, when your actual, you know, your actual presence is so built on the idea of how you're perceived on the internet, and that when you feel like you're losing space on it, or feel like you've done something to sort of, you know, that is up for debate about taste, but you've done something, not even anything like really bad, right? You haven't actually done anything. You haven't said anything bad. You haven't committed any actual crime, but maybe you've done something that somebody else thinks is in bad taste. This happens all, and you get a reaction to that, and the reaction makes you feel like, you know, you don't belong, and you have to now delete everything. I mean, I think that's a problem. I really feel like that's an issue when people's you know, when people feel like, you know, their entire sense of ego and sense of self is based on, you know, their continued presence on the internet and their output and how they're perceived on that, to the point that, like, you know, even a little bit of pushback can really make you question everything and think that you have to leave, you know, and then think like, oh my god,
I hope they're going to be
scary.
okay.
It's scary. I really feel bad about that. I really feel bad that people feel that way, and they don't really need to, and I don't think that's healthy. I mean, you know, you have to understand that it's okay if people criticize you, or it's okay even if people send you a lot of mean messages. You know, you got to be, you know, we all have to really like take a deep breath and be like, oh, okay, well, you know, life is long and the internet's big. I should just relax. And
life is long and the internet's big.
Like, you know, I don't know, but I feel like probably a lot of young people, you know, have a lot of their, you know, self-worth tied up in whatever their presence is on the internet, right? And I, you know, shudder to think what's going to happen to some people.
It's hard to be a
There's
young person online these days.
I mean, think about some influencers and all the people vying for space as an influencer. This is totally off, you know, just really connected but not related. You know, think about those. Like, I wonder what they're going to do when they get older, and how their, you know, emotional well-being is going to be. You know, if they don't feel like they're consistently, you know, escalating their presences. You know what I mean?
I hope this person is okay. I agree with you.
I think they will be. They're a phenomenal producer. They're going to be fine. They're extremely talented, strong person, and I think they'll be fine. But it did upset me to see, you know, such a hard reaction from them.
Yeah.
But you know, anyway, so that's one. I guess the other one, I guess we should talk about, and I think we'll bring in Bee Fant once we get to it.
Oh yeah, this one's a good one.
Is the AI stuff, right? Is the
you know,
the AI generated art, right? That's going around the internet right now with that little app that takes your face and makes you into an anime character, and makes you into you know, all kinds of different styles of art. And like, I saw that and I signed up for it, and I was like, oh, fun. Like, that was my reaction.
Yeah, they were kind of cool.
I know, but then like after I did it, I'm like, oh, what are the implications of this? Like, where is this?
Right.
Like, where are they getting the imagery from? What did I just submit my photos to?
Yeah.
Is this like ridiculous? Like, am I? Where I saw someone saying I didn't realize like on the internet, like I guess maybe what's happening is there's a word for it. I can't remember what it is because I'm not as tech savvy. Where are they like just kind of going through other real artists' work and
like just
conglomerating
trolling through
that
stuff?
And, yeah, trolling. Is there some little algorithm that's just trolling that, amalgamating that, and like taking your face and using other people's art? And I'm like, well, that's not good. So, is this a good thing? How do we feel about AI art? Is it cool? I mean, I really love the stuff that
it's such a hard question to answer. I really just want to know what the artists think, and I've heard a lot of different opinions.
I love the stuff that DMT Tapes is doing when he puts out the all his like landscapes and such. You know what I mean? I think that stuff's really cool.
Oh yeah, that guy's been doing it for a while.
His stuff is awesome, but I don't know. That's the whole other thing that he's been working with, and I don't know. This was just like I downloaded an app, and in an hour I had like fucking like 200 photos and shit. You know what I mean?
True. Well, I guess we better find out what Bee Fant has to say to that. Are you guys ready? I'm ready, and I think Bee's ready too. Chris?
Yeah.
Awesome. So Bee Fant, if you guys don't, if there's got to be obviously somebody in the chat who doesn't know, but Bee Fant is an artist, a visual artist, a musician, and a friend to many, and of course a person that we have done a lot of business with. We are very excited to bring Bee on the show. Go ahead and unmute yourself, Bee. Welcome to Hot Takes.
Hey. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. It's been a long time coming. As I mentioned last night, I'm sorry that it's been so long. We're very excited to have you here, especially as a multifaceted artist. And we want to know what you think about what Skelly said.
Yeah, so there are implications to the whole AI art thing. There is a whole school of thought where art is seen as a luxury. And I think that being able to have accessible art is important, but there are also people who, whether it's like a developer or even like the artist whose artwork got feeded into the AI itself, like someone is behind that. So,
yeah, interesting.
But it also isn't going away, and Sega Octopus made a really good point today about it not going away. So just fucking steal it back. Like just use it at like what I like to do. Like just use it as a reference. Use it, build upon it. Don't just have it.
I like Sega's ressuresponse. It was very like
exactly.
It was
Sega
very.
Just did
it was
a really cool fan art
too.
of me and Wendy.
Yeah,
that was awesome. I like woke up this morning and saw. I'm like, that's so cool. I'm so flattered. But anyway,
so
you're saying
just build upon it. Don't just have it spit some crap out and call it a day. Like do something with it. Like what Keith has been doing with it has been that really changed my mind on it. Made me a little more open-minded about the whole thing because just making it your own. Don't just leave it up to a string of words that you put into like a input box or whatever. But I haven't messed around a whole lot with it. I did do the anime face thing, but I really haven't done much of anything else with it.
Would you use it as inspiration?
I mean, probably. I don't have like access to it. Like I don't pay for any of it.
Right.
I still go the old way with cultivating, I guess, my own reference and kind of like Frankensteining it into one big Photoshop file and going from there.
Very cool.
But we'll see.
Yeah,
something may happen.
I used it to just upload a bunch of
pictures of you and Wendy, right?
No, just a bunch of like.
Yeah, how does that work? Do you upload a bunch of photos of yourself?
A lot to I used it a lot to basically upload a bunch of. Sorry, this is inappropriate. Upload a bunch of nudes of Wendy and composite like new anime versions and shit of them.
Yes. Feeding the algorithm.
I'm like, this is I'm gonna do. What's the AI? I'm gonna have AI generated nudes of Wendy. This will be fun.
I mean, I've seen some people who've done it, and And there have been some pretty
They were
weirdo
good. They
and
came out really
pretty
interesting.
wild
It's really
nudes, you know?
fascinating. They're really fascinating. They're interesting. It's terribly inappropriate for me to post them, but like they're really interesting. Anyway,
Is what it is.
Yeah.
Well, you guys run up the questions for Bee in chat. Anything and everything that you have to say within reason will run by our special guest today. And until then, I know Skelly usually likes to kind of start the night off with some biographical questions. It's become a bit of a trend.
Hold on. Christ is telling me, John's telling me I need some shame.
Skelly needs some shame. You're right.
That's not part of my brand.
Always. I would like to know if John has used the AI art thing. He's a visual artist as well. Well, I don't know if John's used it for his own nudes. I would possibly be interested in knowing that. But
I'm no longer interested in the question.
If it's not nudes,
sorry.
he doesn't care.
Right. We've got a question in chat real quick.
All right, let's do that.
Let's hit this question really quick.
We'll do a couple of questions in the chat.
Let's do it.
Flip it up a little bit.
Laggy McLaggin Pants. What is one of Bee's favorite non-vapor albums?
Okay. That didn't come out this year, right?
You know, I'm really bad about keeping up with the current releases. So anything, anytime.
Okay. Yeah. So my favorite non-vapor album has to be I think it's gonna be Akhenaten by Philip Glass.
What is it?
It's one of them. Akhenaten.
Akhenaten.
Yes, it is an opera that was commissioned to Philip, for Philip Glass to do about
top 5 Bee answers.
This is totally on brand for you. Keep going. This is so on brand right now.
It was commissioned after I think one of the pyramids was unearthed in the late 70s.
Wow!
And about Akhenaten, who was the first.
What?
The first.
Damn.
To unify Upper and Lower Egypt under one, the first to kind of bring monotheism to Egypt, and it's about that. And he was like, yeah, and I've seen it many times. The Met Opera does a pretty great
Lux
production
linked
of
the
it.
Wikipedia page. Thank you, Lux.
You Lux! Oh my God!
Link Queen.
Akhenaten is great. Runner by Steve Reich is I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right because I've only seen his name read. That's a close second. That's a really cool.
We both know who you're talking about.
Minimalist piece. Yeah.
I don't know if it's the reason
wonderful scholarly answers.
The reason I brought Bee on the show is not just because they're a phenomenal artist, but their taste in music is ridiculously curated. Like Bee can have a Philip Glass song followed by a Silver Mount Zion song followed by the most cutesy, kawaii, whatever you've ever heard, and then Death's Dynamic Shroud. And I'm just like, man, this person doesn't mess around. Oh, look.
No,
got
not at all.
DDS on the wall. This one doesn't play around about their music taste.
No, they do not.
All right, Skelly.
All right, let's get into this then. All right, well, first of all, how long have you been animating for? How long have you been illustrating for? When did you start making art?
So I never really took any classes, and I went to Catholic school. Didn't really foster any kind of that creative relationship.
You went to Catholic school. How was that?
I think it's a similar experience to a lot of people. It had a lot of good, it taught me more life about being punctual and learning how to write in cursive and stuff like that. I liked wearing a uniform because I didn't have to figure out what to wear every day. Mm-hmm. But you're also kind of just taught one way, and if you try to diverge or question it, it's you're out of luck. They can't help you with anything.
But you did feel like you learned some good life skills because it was so regimented.
Yeah, they
That's
they
interesting. Yeah.
they run that crap like it's the Marines.
You know, that's the thing is
know.
like you can really like no matter if you're situations where you don't exactly think that you maybe feel correct in that in the right place, or if you feel it's difficult, or you feel like I don't know. There's so many skills to learn from every experience we have in life. You know what I mean? There's so many positives too that we could take
Exactly
and generalize to other things we do. You know what I mean? Like you're like, well,
yeah,
I'm punctual on time. I wrote in cursive. I don't even know if they teach cursive to kids anymore. Do they
Oh, I
don't even know if
know.
they teach cursive anymore to kids.
I don't know. But anyway, a lot of that happened outside of school. I really didn't like draw. We didn't have like a whole lot of art classes, so I didn't start that education until I went to art school. And then, but I did a lot more music outside of school. I started playing the piano and violin when I was like 5.
Damn.
And so
Right.
I was in a string orchestra from the 6th grade to the 12th grade, and I would transpose music for us, and I've even conducted a couple times. It's a lot of fun.
Conducted? Huh?
Yeah, it's
Fun.
really great. I was
Be
a
the
big
boss.
old metronome, like it was
Oh, how fun.
fantastic. And since I've moved back to Jersey, I got called back to that orchestra as an alumni. So I've been back on that saddle for about a year, which is really great. I want to do something with it now, like incorporate violin work into vapor somehow. But in terms of visual art, I really
What'd you
Yeah,
gravitate
that's-
towards?
what do I gravitate towards? It really depends on what I'm trying to say, I think.
What did
I
you
think-
gravitate towards when you were younger?
Oh yeah.
Was there any particular like underground comic artists or mainstream comic artists or cartoons or what did you feel drawn to?
I read a lot of manga growing up.
Okay,
Manga
sick.
growing up. That was all I did. You're sitting
did
on
you
the
like?
floor in Borders. I read a lot of shoujo.
Mhm.
There was there was this series that it was the first series I picked up and finished. And my mom actually picked it up. She's like, "Oh, this is
Oh, that's sweet.
it's called Mamote Lollipop. It's 8
Mhm.
volumes long, and it's about this girl who swallows a candy, and these 2 guys need to protect her from people that are trying to steal the candy.
Oh
And
wow!
I haven't like
How
revisited
whimsical!
it since I don't know if it holds up. I read it in the 4th grade, but in my mind it was pretty spectacular. And then I caught on to Naruto and
Oh yeah, Naruto. Of course, absolutely.
got into like Azumanga Daioh, Lucky Star.
Yeah.
All the mainstays.
Yeah, exactly. The class. So I did draw a lot of that. You know what I mean? Like I had all the how to draw manga books and stuff like that. They're still in the basement somewhere. May go and break those out just for fun. Follow the steps.
So so you were initially drawn to manga. That was what you kind of liked drawing a lot as a younger kid. But you don't exactly draw manga now. You know what I mean? You don't draw any manga. So what made you diversify? Yeah, not really. And when did you start to like kind of to move away from that and develop your own style? I guess. Like what else were you trying to do something that was your own version of manga, but like but through your eyes, or were you inspired by other things too in addition to the manga?
So like later on in high school, I was reading up about how to like build a portfolio, and I went to like my local community arts center and had someone help me build a portfolio to apply to colleges. And a lot of them just discouraged that style. They don't want to see a portfolio full of manga. They would these portfolio day sessions that are held all across the country, where you can go to like a convention center and all of these colleges will be set up to review your portfolio. And I remember this guy in front of me and in line for Ringling College in Sarasota, Florida. And at the time I was going to go to school for animation, and the guy in front of me had this whole portfolio of like beautifully drawn like anime, like really good like marker work and stuff like that. Like I don't fuck with markers. Like that's the whole
I don't fuck with markers.
I don't fuck with markers. I'm not good at it. There's like a whole look for it. And this guy just he like brushed him off. He's like, we don't deal with this. Sorry.
You don't deal with
and then
wow, that's
like,
cold.
Wow.
Jesus. So and even when I was in school, it was encouraged to draw in that style. There are definitely professors who encourage you to draw whatever you want and maintain some joy, because you're doing these 8-hour studio classes drawing.
Oh my god, yeah,
Like it's
the hours that the art students do is nuts.
The joy gets beaten out of you, and I understand why so many people don't like finish. You know what I mean? There's so many like cruddy parts to art school, so it's like.
Yeah,
even now I'm still trying to figure out.
Talking to PJ about that, you know.
Yeah, exactly, and even now I'm still trying to figure out like why did I like doing this in the first place, because you're so regimented in art school too. Like you have to do this, you have 50 thumbnails to do next week, you got 10 sketches to do this, because this, that. And when you get out of art school, especially if you don't go into an artistic career right out the gate, you try to remember like what am I doing, why did I do this? And I remember my portfolio professor telling me senior year, a lot of people after 6 months of graduating just stop. Like they just stopped drawing completely. And that's
depressing.
Like, wow.
Really funny to hear, right?
We hate to hear that.
We do hate to hear it. So we're trying to just find the joy in it while also like getting better at it, because I feel like I've been out of practice. I haven't been
just gotta charge that Apple
You
Pencil.
feel like you've been out of practice? You upload something like every fucking day. I swear I can't even keep up with it. There's sometimes where like, I mean, I just don't like. I usually like on my Instagram feed get something from you, but there's sometimes like it just doesn't come up on my feed, so I have to like be like, I haven't got anything from Bianca in a while, and I had to go check on your Instagram page, and I was like 9 new posts, and I'm like, what? I have to like all these. What the hell?
What I mean by that is you spend 4 years drawing from life and fulfilling a sketchbook with certain observations.
I see.
And with the pandemic and working from home full time, I don't get out as much as I used to just to walk.
Touching grass is definitely a luxury.
But so that in terms of out of practice, that's how I feel. Like I can't draw like anatomy, perspective, you know.
Right.
Like the technical skills, I feel like I don't have as strong as a grasp as I used to. So that's definitely something I want to work on in the new year. You know.
We got a backlog of questions in chat. You guys mind if I run a couple?
I'm sorry.
No, you don't know anybody an apology.
I have some more questions in regards to what Bianca is talking about. So go ahead, continue.
Let me just interject one or two.
Let's pause for a moment and do some questions. Yeah.
Some questions. Shiny Crystal Pistol says, B, who is your favorite popular artist, music or visual art?
Oh.
Popular artist.
Popular artist. Okay.
Popular artist.
Yeah, music or visual
art. Or both, if you have an answer for both.
I'm trying to figure out the gauge of popularity, because I want to say Black Midi.
Quiz already made a joke about that in chat.
I mean, I see what you're saying. The gauge of pop, they're pretty popular in like the world, like the alternative.
Like,
music
do
spectrum.
you like Disney,
but like,
or do you like, Carly Rae Jepsen? I don't know.
Emotion was fun, but I haven't really listened to that in a while.
Okay, Emotion, yeah, I see Emotion. Yeah, that's pretty much that's the answer. You know, everyone loves that. That's the Carly Rae Jepsen. That's the pop album that the alternative kids, myself included, do very much enjoy quite a bit. I agree. I'll second that answer as well. And yeah, and Black Midi, you're right. They've been having a moment for the last few years, so for sure they're another.
If my dad knows them, I guess they're popular.
If your dad knows them, they're popular. Dad's a big Carly Rae Jepsen stan. Got it.
And a Black Midi.
Weird. I can't use the word stan. It feels weird when I say it. Anyway,
one more really quick one. Drink Your Tears 94, former guest on the show. Have you ever read Spiral by Koji Suzuki?
No, I haven't. I'm writing it down.
I haven't either, but apparently it's got to be cool. All right, thank you, Skelly.
Can you run that? Okay.
Spiral by Koji Suzuki.
Okay,
they spelled it Koji and then Suzuki, Suzuki.
Perfect. Awesome. Suzuki method. I'm familiar. Yeah.
There you go. Thank you, Skelly. Skelly?
What's up?
Oh, those were. I just wanted to get 2 questions out of the way. Back to you.
I'm just mocking myself right now in the chat. Okay, my turn to talk again. Yes,
okay.
Yes,
This is what's
yes.
happening.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
got
yeah.
It is.
Yeah,
It
all
is
right,
indeed.
great.
Hello, fellow kids.
Okay, so here's what I really want to ask about, because and I also want to get back to your musical tastes eventually too. But I want to continue
Me
along
too.
the lines of discussing your artistic style and that journey. So I think one of the biggest things and it's probably very difficult for any kind of artist to do, almost even particularly as a visual artist, is developing their own style. And you've obviously put a lot of work into developing your style so that when somebody sees something, that you know that it is you that made it, and that's like so crazy to me, because it's basically creating a language. Do you know what I mean? And everything.
Yes. Oh my
and
God.
then, so it's a visual language. And so basically when, and everything is translated, like you're going to draw a picture of a character, and it's like almost like, okay, I'm going to take this phrase in English and write it in Japanese. And you know what I mean? Like I'm going to take this picture, but it's not Japanese. It's the Bee Fant language. Like and it's not a language. It's the visual. It's not a written language. It's a visual language. So that's like a really crazy thing, right? To develop a personal visual language, and that's consistent. And it's consistent too. The J is always written like a J, but hair is always drawn like hair for you.
Yeah.
So that's like the most fascinating thing to me, particularly about you visual artists. And how the hell do you do that? Like, how did you start refining and defining your visual style, your visual language?
That was my biggest fear in school, was that I wasn't going to be able to find something.
Bee
and that
Fant!
was...
Oh my God, I'm dying right now. Everyone's saying
Oh my God.
Bee Fant. Who was
Somebody
the first
on
one to
Twitter
say
said
that?
Bee
Fighting
Fant.
Island, who said that first? Is that PJ who said it first? I'm dying. That's so fucking clever. Oh my God, I can't. That's a clever.
Yeah.
You win. That's amazingly clever.
Everyone go
PJ.
back it up.
All right. So anyway, let's go back to this. So distracting how fucking clever that was.
Lots of just drawing what I wanted alongside what I had to do for class was huge. Like maintaining a sketchbook outside of my class was really because even when I was doing art before I went to college, it was very inconsistent. It was some weird a Tumblr 2014 illustration style, but I was really into Egon Schiele at the time, so
Egon
fucking
Schiele.
with that.
Absolutely, the long limbs and the big fingers and the sort of Eon, the sort of clearly
Wait, what is this?
Eon Flux
They're
style stuff. Egon Schiele.
What's it called?
Egon Schiele is a famous artist.
Oh, I guess I've not heard
sorry.
of it or seen it. Damn.
You'd recognize his work if you saw it, but it's
but
Isaac,
is that the guy that made salad fingers?
No, it's not the guy who makes signs.
Yeah.
That's not Egon Schiele. Is a really famous expressionist artist from Austria.
Oh, okay.
He's from the 1890s. From the
totally different era.
He's
My
from
bad.
fucking Gilded
Egon
Age.
Schiele.
Gilded Age. Well, not Gilded Age. I guess that's America. But he's an Austrian famous fine artist from the 1890s and such, dude.
Fine.
Well, actually, not 1890.
My bad.
Yeah. So 18. Anyhow, have you ever seen Eon Flux? Isaac.
No.
Oh, damn. Okay.
I know what it
I was
is,
gonna
but
say
no.
a lot of that looks very Egon Schiele. So it's that sort of style of limbs and body and sinewy long limbs and shit. So anyway, that was a big influence on you. That's interesting. So go on. I interrupted the flow.
That is very cool.
Isaac thought that Egon Schiele was a
sorry.
Tumblr. Isaac was convinced.
Yeah, let me get that
Schiele
Tumblr.
Made salad fingers. So go ahead.
I will catch you up to speed with some Egon Schiele after
Very
this for
cool.
sure. But I didn't know where I was going with it. I didn't know what I couldn't envision what my work would look like in a professional setting anyway. I was having it, and my professors and we had a board come in and review our portfolios and give us kind of their opinion on what they recommend we do with our work post graduation. And every single time we had one of these reviews, they could never give me a straight answer like they could with other people. They're like, you can do so much, or good luck. So I kind of just left with no real grasp on what I could do. So I think just kind of drawing things as I saw them, but in a shorthand, essentially. That eventually became how I draw, with big cheesy grins and massive ears.
Big
I don't
old
care
ears.
how big I don't care how small they are, actually. I'm gonna
I love the big ears.
Oh.
Yeah. Love it.
that they quickly became like hallmarks, I guess. Out of spite, I guess. I don't know.
Spite. Interesting.
I remember when I
that's
made
kind
the
of
mock-up
fun.
for you.
Like,
that
honestly,
I
at the end of the day, like
I was
what
like,
you
I know
draw is-
exactly what this is going to look like, and it's exactly what I want.
Mhm.
The
Yeah.
giant
You know, that's
grin.
kind of a thing. It's like, you know, creating a new artistic language is a form of rebellion, right? You know what I mean? You have to kind of
Yeah,
be like,
especially
I
when-
know this is the way the world works, this is the way the world looks, but this is how it's going to look to me. This is how I'm going to draw it. You know what I mean?
When
This
they
is how I'm
tell
gonna
you
interpret it.
when a bunch of professionals tell you that they have no idea what you're here for and what you should be doing with it when you get out of here, it's pretty harrowing. to be
Holy
told
shit!
that.
damn.
That's that. What?
You spend all that time, all that
Yeah.
energy, all that money,
Oh shit.
all that money.
Oh no.
All that money.
It's oh, God. So like I understand why people say don't go to art school. Like I as someone who finished it, I get it.
Wow.
I don't know what it's like post pandemic or so I graduated right before all of that started. So yeah, I'm not saying don't go to art school. Like I definitely benefited from it because I didn't do anything art related. I had no real like guidance before I entered that kind of program. But now that I have it, like it's mine forever.
It's
So,
true. It's yours. It's
then no one
yours.
they can't take that away no matter how many times they told me. So
That's exactly right, and you know
That's
that's
that
the
on
thing.
that.
The achievement is always yours. It is there. It is always part of it's part of your story forever. You know what I mean? And, you know, so that's exactly right. But
and I would have never met you if
Mhm.
had I not gone to, like if I wasn't in Philly at the time that I was. Like
Yeah.
you and James were like the two people that like I have met from that time that I still keep in contact with.
because we're such good people.
Um,
And it's
Hell, man.
ironically, yeah, and of course we're the two people from the vaporwave scene. That's you, like, yeah.
The best
Yeah,
part of
Exactly.
Philly.
The only
you were
reason no
like
one-
you were like 19 when I met you. Exactly.
I was like
Yeah,
a
going to
sophomore
going
when
to see
started
the vaporwave show. Yeah.
Yeah, we met at a George Clinton show.
That's
It was-
correct,
it was
yeah.
Crazy.
At Philomoka. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
I'm not sure it's open anymore.
I love that.
I think it's RIP right now, that venue. Yeah.
Oh, that's terrible.
That's so sad. They had a giant eraser head painted.
Oh damn.
Like,
Yeah.
In
Well,
heaven,
yeah,
everything's
they-
fine.
they did the Eraserhead tour in that whole neighborhood. I was on that. It was fun. They
Oh,
show you,
yeah.
this
Because that's the
inspired
area
this
where David
scene.
Lynch
This is where
lived when he was going to school.
He went to
Oh,
PASA. Yeah, he
really?
also went to art school. Yeah,
Yeah, he
also
had
went
that
to art
like
school.
claustrophobia and the like feelings that were going on in his head when he made
He said
Eraserhead.
that
That's
is-
where he
Yeah,
That's
he
was.
said
North
that-
Philly, baby.
The industrial.
Yeah, so that's they used to call that area Eraser Hood. And
Yeah. Oh, no shit.
it was way different when David Lynch
Eraser
went there.
Hood.
If you go and like look up David Lynch's Philadelphia stories, and there's like all kinds of crazy shit he'll tell you that he witnessed
Oh,
out
yeah.
there that like drove him
Mhm.
mad and scared him.
Yeah.
And he said that his time in Philadelphia
tough
was
watch.
the inspiration for Eraserhead.
Yeah.
You know, for at least the feel of Eraserhead. He
Yeah.
said, well, obviously I didn't like have like a crazy alien baby, but like the
In
feel
your
of
radiator.
of how I felt.
A singing
Yeah, living in
cauliflower-faced
Philadelphia
woman.
is like he infused that into the Eraserhead, and so he calls that.
That's
his
probably why
Philadelphia
James
movie.
left.
That's Philadelphia movie. It's not
Yeah,
like
I'm
that
telling
anymore.
you.
It's not like that anymore in that area. But apparently, just look up. If you guys
apparently
want,
get robbed a
want
lot,
fun read,
too.
look up any of his stories about Philadelphia and going to school. Yeah.
Yeah, never.
One
did.
question.
and
One
that
question real quick.
Philomoka was
Yes.
a mausoleum that they turned into a venue, so that was pretty cool.
That's right.
Too.
I'm
But
gonna,
anyway,
I'm
go
gonna
on.
interject with one really quick question
You
from
can
Soft
interject now.
Replica. He wants to know what are some of Bee's non-visual artists and pieces that end up influencing their visual work. Non-visual artists and pieces that end up influencing your visual work.
I mean, music, right?
Yeah,
I do
music.
like a lot.
Yeah, that's the one, isn't it? yeah, fair.
I do a lot of illustrations based off of individual songs. Like I've been doing a lot of those.
That's fucking
and
cool.
I used to do a lot of that.
Philomoka is
fun.
back according to Quiz. It is reopened. They do shows there, so that's good to know. I wasn't aware.
Liddy.
Okay, so anyway, music. You were saying.
Yes. So I And I did this when Hellfire came out earlier this year, where the songs just evoke something in me so visceral that it's like I need to put an image to this that isn't influenced by the musician's visual image. So in other words,
Yeah.
you know,
something that came out in your mind, not through like lyrics or the album cover or something.
yeah, so the lyrics, you know, that sometimes you know, will have an effect. But if there's an official music video, like that goes right out the window. Like
Right,
if
for
there's
sure.
any kind of like canonical like visual depiction of a song or a body of music, I'm just like, let's deconstruct this a little bit more. I want to do that more. It's a lot of fun, and a lot of music inspires me in this way. So I think that's why I get along well with projects for you know, like album covers and stuff like that. Like
Right.
I'm able to kind of garner that kind of vision from audio, which is something I'm pretty proud of.
Nice.
I think that kicks ass though. Like everyone loves a song that evokes an image. You actually take that image and put it on paper or, you know, a screen.
Exactly. Yeah, and I don't like it to be too literal, but that's kind of difficult when you have a very representative visual style. You're always drawing people and things, and that's always going to be interpreted as literal. I would say.
That was an interesting statement. Yeah.
Oh God. Yep.
Damn, Fang the Werewolf NYC has about 1 billion questions they want to ask you.
Okay. we'll
One
go
of
to
the
that,
best
and
one-
then I'll ask more questions.
One of the
after that.
best ones from way back. Where did the name Bee Fant come from?
It came from my casino terminal login, dude. I worked in a casino for 5 years.
Oh,
and what
yeah.
they
What did
for
you
that-
do? Were you a card dealer?
No, oh my God, no, God, no. It was worse. It was customer service.
I got you.
I was behind the desk. I was issuing cards. I was issuing match bet. I was issuing all kinds of money to people who did not. I did that. What the login was, it's your first initial and like so many letters of your last
Of your last name. Okay. Easy.
F-A-N-T.
Unreal.
It's so unoriginal, but
No hate.
that's where it came from.
It's a good
That's
answer.
when it all started too. When I started working at the casinos, when I started going to college, so I'm like, might as well have something to tag my stuff with because they encourage an online presence when you go there. Yeah.
Makes perfect sense.
Yep.
Sorry, Skelly. Proceed.
Okay. Let's talk about music. Okay, obviously you come from a background where you learned a lot of classical music. When did you start listening to stuff that was a little bit off the beaten path? What was the first music you kind of started listening to?
So music I started listening to on my own was
what felt like yours?
Sorry, what was that?
What felt like yours?
Oh, what felt like mine? Oh, Madonna. Okay, so I have I have 3 quotes painted on my bedroom walls from when I was 14.
Wow.
And one of them is from Pete Townsend, one of them is from Tom Scholz, and one of them is from Roger Waters. So very classic rock. Like,
Classic rock.
Interesting. That was my whole thing. I have seen Boston live maybe 7 or 8 times.
Boston.
Wow.
You've seen Boston live 7 or 8 times. Really?
Boston's pretty cool.
No, I'm not casting aspersions. I find it interesting.
I really haven't listened to them in a whole long time, but you know, I still listen to the Who every once in a while. Sometimes I like going back and listening to the Roger Waters solo stuff just to.
But you haven't put
have
more
a
than
little chuckle.
You haven't put more than a feeling on in a while.
Yeah. Oh my. Well, try Third Stage. That's a pretty good album. Third Stage and Don't Look Back are pretty. You know.
Don't Look Back is great. Oh, I'm familiar with Don't Look Back. That's great. More than a feeling, obviously, is that's like their 80s. That's also more than a feeling is also their 80s work. Do you know what I mean? It's a lot different than their 70s work.
came out in the 70s.
Yeah, Don't Look Back's from the 70s, correct. But I believe More Than a Feeling is like that's the 80s Boston stuff. Yeah. Yeah, you would know better than I. I'm not the Boston so
Right.
over here. But anyhow, so what? Okay, so
1976.
at what point do you move from classic rock to vaporwave? Let's go. What's the?
I wanna hear this too.
That was crazy.
there.
How did you find
That
it?
was Bandcamp. It was now that's what I call
Sick.
vaporwave. Coliseum Records popped up on the front page of Bandcamp one day.
Oh. Okay.
I was listening to a lot of emo stuff on Bandcamp back then. I was listening to a lot of local Philly stuff with problematic
what were you listening
individuals.
to that was local Philly stuff?
Oh, Madon, Panucci's Pizza.
Okay, yeah.
Panucci's Pizza.
Before they got outed as a sex pest, but
Damn.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Gross.
no. So no, that's what I call vaporwave. Showed up on the
So
front.
you were
page,
going
and
to
I'm like,
local shows then? You were going to
No, oh
Philly?
God, no,
Okay.
no. I was still. I hadn't graduated high school yet.
God, no. Okay, go on.
I hadn't
All right,
graduated
so
high
you were,
school
but you were
yet.
interested. Oh, so you were just checking out what was going on in Philadelphia, the city that was a little bit near you. Is that what's happening?
Well,
How did you decide to start checking out Philadelphia?
Both of my parents are from there, so I was in there there frequently. I have like a blood connection to South Philly.
Sick.
Blood connect. Got it.
We're bonded forever.
It's the Italian.
Exactly. That's where the bastard accent comes from.
Love it. Love it. Love your parents too. They're phenomenal human beings. I am always
They're
get a kick out.
fun. Isn't that fun, right? Yeah.
Oh my God, they're so much fun. Isaac, they've been to Terminally Chill.
What?
Like,
These
twice.
parents have been to
They've come
Terminally
a
Chill
couple
twice?
times, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Bought him
Sheesh.
shots and everything.
Yeah,
Shout out
say,
Mom and
Dad
Pop
bought me a
Fant.
shot. This is the sweetest.
They
I
bought
was-
you
I
a
was-
shot?
that's my favorite. Yeah, they're so cool. I love them so much.
Oh man, that's
Please
badass.
tell them. Please give them my regards. They're phenomenal.
Yeah.
I was so honored because they like knew who I was already because
Oh, wow.
Bianca talked about me to them, and I was like, oh, this is like
I mean,
the coolest promotion I've ever gotten in my life.
I don't shut
Right.
up about vaporwave to them because that has quickly become like.
Do they like vaporwave? Please
I
tell
don't
me you
think-
didn't
They
start
like
them
the
on
people.
I
I
Destiny.
think they
haven't-
like the
I-
creativity and the people and the
they're very into like funk and disco. Like
There you go.
Oh,
they've been around.
So they would love
in the 80s.
WDSK.
They've gone clubbing and stuff like that. So they're into that kind of stuff, which is
Fun.
pretty neat.
I
How did we
gotcha.
get to vaporwave again? So you're on. You it just
I'm on
pops up on
Bandcamp.
Bandcamp.
Yeah, it pops up on Bandcamp. Mixes on YouTube.
I see.
Saw
Yeah.
stuff on Tumblr. Started getting, more into the Coliseum Records catalog. Then I went to Fortune 500. And then
Nice.
I went
nice.
to go listen to Adhesive Sounds. And then
Oh yeah.
E95.
Wow. Oh, Adhesive Sounds is really interesting.
Yeah, that was a fun
They were like
one.
they really
Lost
did their own thing.
Angles.
That was
There's
an
some good
interesting one.
Adhesive
All those
Sounds comps. Comps
Yeah.
are underrated, man. It's a great way to get people
Yeah.
into your stuff.
I would not be here if it weren't for a comp. So my first paid gig was a comp.
Yo, that's right.
I did.
And you recently did the art for Chase's Mossy Frog Tapes comp, right?
Yeah. Oh my god,
Yeah.
that was so freaking
Shout
fun.
out.
That was such a blast. Shout out to Chase and Data for the art direction on that because that was a blast. They were very they weren't totally hands off with it because obviously they're like, oh, maybe move the frog over there. Like that's fine. But for the most part, I just kind of ran with it. And I
Love that.
I love jobs like that where just like you trust me enough to just kind of
Love your
narrow
work
my
on
way
the, on
through
the
pieces.
love it. Loved your work on the groceries merchandise recently too.
Oh
That was so
yeah.
fun.
If
That
I
was
can
cool.
if I can ever get my shit together, I'll be asking you to make some merchandise for me. But
I feel like-
I never get my shit together with this. It needs to happen. I've been doing skeleton lipstick for like roughly 12 years, and I've
Yeah.
never made merchandise. I should really do that. I mean, aside from tapes that like other people
Yeah.
put out and records
Exactly.
that other people put out. I've never actually like. Anyway, we'll get to that. But anyway, when you started getting into vaporwave and you saw this little strange world, were you like, oh, this is a fascinating little world that's going on over here. This is an interesting art style, an interesting like music scene. Like, what did you think?
Yeah, I really dug it, and I'm not like a big collage artist or anything, but I tried my hand at a couple things like that just to kind of garner that vibe. Like I really
Nice.
didn't know like how to translate my illustration work into vaporwave because you didn't really see a whole lot of illustration in vaporwave. It's a lot of, the visual style it was vaporwave. You're pulling from different sources and making
Mhm.
something anew out of it. And I was like, well, I don't know
Thank
how
you,
I'm gonna
Econo
fit
Jazz.
into yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna fit in this as a visual artist, so I might as well try to like, I don't know, interact with people just to get more like recommendations and eventually just having all kinds of conversations with people on Twitter and Facebook. Um, Eventually I was able to figure out a way to bring illustrations to Vaporwave. At
You
least,
really did.
my
Yeah, that
my
actually
It makes
my
sense,
my
too.
type
That
of
was actually
illustration.
that's a
at
big
least, 'cause there are
contribution.
other people doing it as well. Like there's other illustrators like Winnie Doss and PJ and Sega. Like they're all.
Yeah.
I love them to death. Like I worship the ground they all
I love
walk
the
on,
picture
honestly.
of you and Sega and PJ at
The art museum.
yeah, doing
Take
the like
me back.
it was like the coolest
miss
picture
that
I've ever
day.
That
seen.
is like a
It
really
was
interesting
so
thing
fun.
that you mentioned because you guys really do something that is like you would never think like, well, this is illustrating would be like a thing that
Yeah.
was not common, but it is. You're not doing because that's like a specific voice sort of thing. You're not doing glitch art or collage art or typical
Right.
vaporwave imagery for the most part. You're really doing something completely different. So that is a big contribution. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And
this
I
is
like that it's
nothing-
unique, but it's like it's married to vaporwave aesthetic now.
Of course, it's
At least
that's
to
a big
any
deal.
insider, it is.
Yes,
correct.
thankfully
To-
for
to-
that.
To anybody who's
My-
an insider, it really is. They're familiar with your guys' work. You know what I mean?
I
They
have
see it come up all the time.
infiltrated the community.
Yeah.
Infiltrated. Everybody infiltrates. That's that. At the end of the day, nobody like vaporwave is like it's there's nobody who was born there. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like
Good point.
everybody fucking infiltrated. You know what I mean?
Everyone
I like
brings
that.
Even the
I like
people
that
who were there in
statement,
the
Chris.
even the
Nobody
people
was
who were
born
there
there.
in the beginning. But
Yeah.
I mean, like myself and anybody else who was there, even in the beginning of it, like it was like you just sort of like found yourself in it. It was built and you were in it. It's not like
that's
you know what I mean. And so
basically it.
everybody has infiltrated. It infiltrates it. You know what I mean? Nobody is like I was born right away and vaporwave. No. That's not. This is not like
Came out of the womb a producer.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. Or came out of a vaporwave producer right away. Like, no, you found yourself here, and you whatever. Anyway,
Let me grab another beer. Skelly, get a couple more questions in because we got a big backlog of chat questions.
Oh boy.
I'll be
okay,
back.
fine. Oh, well, let me pick a good one then. Okay, all right. So, okay, so you're getting into vaporwave now. Let me just ask you about your work ethic because I know you said you produce a lot. Do you keep yourself very regimented with how you do it? Because not only like you're producing like fully formed works like quite often, you know what I mean? With everything being polished and ready to be given to the public. What's your work ethic like?
Bringing it back to art school, I think being in the routine of having a finished piece within a week for a class has a big deal to do with it, and just working a little smarter, not harder, copying and pasting parts of a finished sketch and rotating them just to and saving time to sketch out a fully, a full piece by hand.
Yeah.
It's easier to just kind of Frankenstein different pieces of it together and then just ink over it.
Okay.
With the day job, it's kind of hard.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
The levels of I guess energy I have to put towards it during the day kind of fluctuate, so it's not very consistent. So I do try to at least sit down for a little bit each day to work on something. I'm trying not to, especially with my hand now, I'm trying not to get too worked up about not finishing something in one sitting anymore. Because that used to really stress me out. It's like, oh, I can't finish this in like 2 hours. I'm a fraud. But that's
no.
That's not how that works anymore. Like I can work in my own pace now, and it works out. So, but with that being said, weekends I'm sitting and drawing, and everything else takes a back seat. I plant myself in like a Starbucks or kitchen table or something and put in a couple hours, take a break, put in another couple hours elsewhere, kind of, and bouncing back and forth between projects too. I'm not always working on one thing, especially if I have like multiple commissions going on.
Yeah.
It's good to bounce back and forth between them because then you get a fresher set of eyes on them after working on something different. So.
Aloe Obscura has a question from a ways back about your favorite era of visual art or eras. Favorite era or eras of visual art?
I'm actually pretty into now.
Oh.
You know what I mean? I like
the
modern
art of the now age.
I like
Art of the now age. Very funny. Good one. Nice one, Isaac. Nice one.
I'm into Rothko. I'm into artists from that period, but I think a lot of illustration I'm into now is contemporaries, people that I get to work alongside with and bear witness to, I guess, from other like communities of art.
That's a hot
so
take.
like if there are people do like mixed media artists on TikTok are crazy and I love them, and I just there's all kinds of people making all kinds of art right now, and I think that's pretty telling of the world that we're in. Says a lot about society.
Interesting.
That everyone's just kind of making whatever they want, and I
I kind of love that, and like
reclaimed by the working class.
You know, I really love that. I love that, and you know, because so much is when you know what's funny to me about a lot of that is like I'm sure that like you know people were always making stuff, but we just couldn't see it because we just couldn't see it. Like unless you knew them or you lived in the same town as them, you couldn't see it. But now everybody lives in the same town because of the internet, so you can see it. You know, and it's nice. Everybody has a chance for lots of people to see it across the world. And, you know, I mean, obviously that's not a new, you know, realization to talk about. We've been talking about that since at least 2010, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when there's a proliferation of websites like, you know, like Tumblr, Bandcamp, DeviantArt, all this stuff.
Yeah,
but,
exactly.
You know,
and it's like, there's all kinds of downsides to social media and the arts, AI art included. There's all kinds of theft going on. There's a lot of lowballing artists paid work. But there's such a wealth of work out there to look at.
Yeah.
Now.
Let me make an interesting statement. So like you're right, and there are downsides. One of the downside is like obviously, you know, for instance, when in the early 2010s, I used to like to go on Vimeo. And I could easily find a lot of like amateur weird animations and arts and just people doing all kinds of weird experimentation with like you know Blender and stuff like that. And I used to you know I would download those videos and I could play them in the back of performances I would do or things like that. You know, and it was really cool, really interesting to find like really weird sort of like 3D visual stuff. And but now when I try and do that now, like the first thing that comes up is like stock video, like stock video of this, stock video of that, like just like companies that have like when I try and look up a thing, like there's a bunch of companies that have now like are just like sort of promoting their reels that you can purchase. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. So it's easier. I'd say it's also become easier to make finally some art, some money off of your art.
Yeah.
I run a subscription service and I make
that's
a pretty good amount on that.
What you should drop the link on that.
Let's drop the link
at some point.
Yeah, the Patreon.
If somebody wants to drop the link to the Patreon.
Yes, please.
Yeah, you mail out stickers like on the reg.
Yes, once a month I send out stickers. December I did something really fun. I did.
Lux is on it. Thank you, Lux.
Thank you.
Lux is an official member of the podcast.
Yes, she's the link queen. But
thank you. There it is.
I took pairs of mittens and mailed one to one person and another to another, and they need to with the power of friendship, come through to the
Aw.
community,
With
post
the power
section
of friendship, I
and
love
try to
that.
figure out who has their mate by describing what they received in the mail. So I'm hoping people
Adorable.
actually participate in that, because I
Yeah, that's cute.
so it's fun to do stuff like that. It's fun to have that kind of like like that autonomy over my work, because
Yeah.
on one hand, you're being told you can't do anything with your work outside of graduation, but also there's all these like firms you can work for and all these studios, and God forbid you create something, under their watch, like it's theirs. Like you have no ownership over what you make.
Mhm.
So at least through this, I full ownership. So
Word.
that was a pretty big deal.
Yeah, that's a huge deal. And that's really only a recent thing, too.
Yeah.
Question from Fang the Werewolf NYC. B, what's your dream artist collab / role model?
I don't know. It feels silly saying it, because they do have like a set visual language, and like I totally understand that, but DDS would be huge for me. I've drawn them for gig posters and stuff like that, but
Oh yeah, I remember.
Mm.
You've done a gig
it's
poster
like
for
a
Terminally Chill,
far-fetched-
haven't you?
Little tough to break into
Couple times.
DDS, considering like all the artwork's done by James and Keith.
And like I fully respect that. It's just one of those like pipe dream type things where
Yeah.
it's like I'm totally okay, like
Yeah.
it's not going to happen, but that's the
That's the
answer.
You never know. Hey,
good answer.
You never know.
Yeah.
We've got some silly ones. Shiny Crystal Pistol. B, as a person from New Jersey, do you believe in Central Jersey?
Ah, interesting question.
As
Yeah,
a-
Skelly, you could probably answer some of these.
No, I
God.
don't. South and north to me. But
Yeah,
it's
as a
debatable. I'm
resident-
south. I'm a south and north guy.
Yeah, as a resident of South,
South and
I
north.
don't know. Yeah, I don't think
I mean,
Central-
I have never
Central is
been
like
to New
a-
Jersey.
My family is all from North Jersey, and I grew up in South Jersey, and that's the way I see it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I hear Camden's
I
pretty
grew up
lit.
in Mount Laurel. My family's all from Newark.
Oh, okay. All right.
Sick. Fighting Island
Yeah.
wants to know if you have made the coming of age pilgrimage to Old Jersey. Either one?
Oh my God. No, I haven't. No,
Fucking PJ.
I would love
Miss-
to know what.
I miss PJ.
I miss PJ too. PJ, come back online. Be terminally
We
online.
miss
with me.
PJ. Pacific Plaza. Did you ever go to shows at those batting cages in Philly?
I never made it
Most
to
Pacific
Everybody
Plaza
Hits.
question ever.
I never got to make it to Everybody Hits. But
Everybody hits.
yes, so like I went to school with a lot of like the musicians. Like I was there when Shari Heck from Cyberbully Mom Club was still a student. So I'm pretty sure like one of the last shows that Everybody Hits was the Cyberbully Mom Club show. But I never made it over there. I wasn't 21 yet.
Damn.
I was a little baby. It was a little stuff. Yeah.
What a loss.
John says Central
Yeah.
Jersey is real. Born and raised. John is
Central
Jersey.
Jersey is real.
Is that a Christ
Oh.
impression you just did?
Don't
John
touch
says?
my records. Ever.
Nice impression. All right.
Nods asks, B, what is your favorite font?
My favorite font? Jokerman.
Joker.
Perfect.
Pretty great.
What is your
Yeah.
least favorite font? What's the font when you see it like used by a small business? You're like, ugh.
Impact?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the millennial meme. Font.
Yeah, the top text, bottom text font.
Yeah. The bottom text.
Even
font.
if it isn't outlined, it's like, come on. I know what you're going for, and I see pictures of it.
Chaser Wave says, aside from having a very unique visual style, how long did it take for you to establish your color palette? And was there a lot of experimenting?
Color palette actually, I think, came to me a little easier than rendering. I took some classes on color theory and had to paint color wheels from scratch and all that kind of stuff. You had to mix your own colors and whatever.
Yeah.
But I think pulling from other artists that I'm inspired by, and you can like make work out of you can make a very like diverse piece of work with just like a few colors. Like it really doesn't have to be like everything under the rainbow in one piece. So I think being able to figure that out and apply it to the colors that like I wanted to use, so like really bright in your face type stuff, I think that really helped. So basically a combination of like oversaturated, like very pastel, pinky vaporwave stuff and old school color theory. That happened. That's how that came about. It came much easier than figuring out how to actually draw.
Right.
I think. So.
Lagging Pants says, "What is Bee's favorite JoJo part?"
4.
That's Big Lots, by the way.
Yes, I know exactly who would ask that question.
Shout out Big Lots.
Shout out Big Lots. Love that guy.
Same.
Rohan is my favorite character of all time, and if I could ever be a character, it would be him, because who else would I be? I've got the green hair already, I can draw.
Bruh.
I just need to actually make comics again for once in my life.
You think you'll make comics again?
Oh,
I would
that
love
would be
to.
so sick.
My thesis was like a 95-page little comic
Is
sketchbook
it
thing.
something that you have available to your Patreon members?
I have it on my website, but I do need
okay.
to make like a digital version because I don't have a whole lot of physical copies left. So I need to kind of like make an ebook version of it.
Yeah,
So, but I would love to get back and
super
make
fans that would love a copy.
Oh yeah, it's there. It's
Did
the
you
most
get
expensive thing on my
Quiz, I
website
did
at
not
a
get your
whopping
question.
$30.
You have to pay $30 for each print of it.
I don't remember how much I paid for it. I bought maybe 35 copies at like 300.
Gotcha.
I had them independently printed.
I gotcha.
But it costs $30 if you would like to own it. It's a small price to pay for 4 years of work.
Right?
No.
Quiz, I did not get your question. I'm sorry. You can type it again, or sorry.
Quiz me, baby.
Strip Silence. What is the order of importance? Music, track names, album artwork.
Artwork, music, track name.
Interesting. Well, I mean, track names, it seems like everybody puts track names at the end. Even though they are important, right?
Yeah, it's like I get it. Like you can name it whatever, and I'd still mess around with. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
Like,
what do you guys do when you want to tell someone your favorite Telepath song? Chris, do you know what the translations of them are, or do you just tell them
No, I
track
send the
4
link.
on this album?
I just send the link.
track
You just send the
one
link?
of
Yeah, everyone sends the link.
Track 1 of the one that's blue with the Asian lady looking at the camera.
track 1 of the lady standing next to the TV. I think is it
Right.
a TV or like a giant beam of light? It's
Yeah,
like
I
30
know which
minutes
album
long.
cover you're talking about.
Yeah, that's mine. I'm not really too familiar with Telepath.
I love it when people are like, my favorite one is
Cool.
She Came to Me at Night. I'm like, that's
Yeah.
great.
Cool.
LMAO. We are caught up on chat questions. Chris, did you want to hit her with one more before I go nuts?
What time is it right now? 10:15. You can start going nuts.
Well, actually, Quiz just hit us with the Godard question. Jean-Luc Godard said,
yes.
"It's not where you take things from; it's where you take them to. How would you apply this to your work?"
Wow. All right.
Great question, Quiz.
Yeah, and I think
Quiz just rubbed Jean-Luc Godard.
Yeah, I love it.
He also, I do remember, he did say it was the second best Jean-Luc. Sorry, Quiz. I remember that. Right.
Wait, would you say second best Jean-Luc?
He said that it was the second best Jean-Luc because Big Lots / Laggy McLaggin Pants is the first best.
His name
Jean-Luc.
is Jean-Luc as well.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cute. I love that. All right, good. Go on. Continue. Second best. Great.
One of them you can actually hug, and you can't hug the other one.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, take with that what you will. But I think with that, it goes back to pulling inspiration from music. You know, if I feel strong enough about a song that I need to kind of prove it,
Right.
In a piece.
Prove it. Prove that you love this song.
Prove you have all these scrabbles without showing your scrabbles.
Shout out last.fm.
Yeah, that's wow. That's so bad.
And I think that can apply to what I guess I want to try out with the AI stuff, taking whatever that output is, making it my own into something not completely different, but different enough that you could tell that a human has touched this. So
Damn.
I've thought about this for a while.
That's well stated.
Not
right.
good at this on the spot stuff.
Did you guys see what in Rail just Nathan
I
just
did.
wrote?
Do you want to read it?
That painted. I like read it, and I also read it in his voice too, and like painted
What'd
a whole like little like angry rant picture, and
Yeah.
I was like, you can read it.
I got a hot take. I don't like when songs are called like Untitled 01 and Bedroom Loop by an artist named Jonathan with the period.
You got to read it like unreal. Like
He
I got a
doesn't
hot
like
take.
lo-fi.
Yeah, right.
I don't like when songs
What?
are like Untitled 1 and Bedroom
Bedroom
by like an artist
Loop.
named Jonathan.
By an artist named Jonathan.
with a period. Yeah.
I feel that,
funny.
and Rail is really good at song titles. So are you,
Yes.
Skelly, actually.
I like big ideas in world. That entire rant was a world
said.
that was just created. Wait, what are you saying about?
Nathan
I like what?
does.
What did you say? Something?
You have good song titles, too. Both of you guys are really good at song titles.
Yeah, you and Nathan.
All right. Oh, good for us. Good for us.
B, what is a
Thank you.
song or album that you think everyone needs to hear at least once?
Glasswork.
Glasswork.
Glassworks.
That's a good answer.
Different Trains. Mallet Quartet. The UC live at UC Berkeley by Steve Reich, like that kind of like listen to minimalist classical music. Please, like listen to classical music that has come out after the 19th century or something. Like there was
Gotcha.
a point where that wasn't even considered classical music, and grants had been
It's just kind of
revoked,
experimental.
Wow.
and- yeah, like they've come so.
Who was I
far.
listening to? Like, oh, what the fuck is it called? I was just listening to it recently.
Quiz.
Yeah.
I'll listen
What'd
to
he say?
classical music when they make barber beats out of it.
I was listening to what?
It's pretty good.
Christoph Penderecki, Serenity to the Victims of Hiroshima. That was like a very,
Yes.
Oh, is that
that's
the one that was in Twin
insane.
Peaks season 3?
Yes,
was it?
it was. Yes, it
Oh,
was.
really?
It was in the
It's
black
pretty
and white
wild.
episode
I
7
haven't
or 8.
I haven't seen Twin Peaks season 3.
Oh yes. So, yeah, that was used in that one episode. That was pretty with the orb and everything.
You would really like it, Chris.
Oh my
It's
god!
I'm
very-
sure I would. I know I would.
yeah.
I just need
Yeah.
to do it.
Yeah, you would.
It's time, Dr. Chris. I know, Lux.
Oh, Quiz has got another good one. Have you seen any
I
movies
know.
lately that have inspired recent/future work? Movies specifically, B?
I mean, I'm probably going to see one tomorrow that's going to inspire me. I'm seeing the last Evangelion movie tomorrow night.
Very
I've
cool.
seen it before, but I'm actually going to be seeing it like in a theater, which is crazy to me.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
Mhm.
Bring a box
But
of tissues.
Oh, I'm strapped. I'm ready.
I have actually-
Strapped with
I have
tissues.
not seen Evangelion, but I've been told it's very moving, and I would really
It
like to.
is.
Just haven't found the time.
I saw it when I saw Evangelion
I-
when I was in high school, but I never
Oh,
saw any of
nice.
the.
How
I
did
never
you
saw any
got-
of the continuations.
We're
of it.
branded with it, you know.
Oh, wild. I
With
see.
it
I don't even know what
forever.
the significance of that is, but I need to learn. It seems.
It's the Lance of Longinus. It represents.
Oh, the
like,
Longinus spear. Okay,
Death, baby. Yeah.
I gotcha. Very cool. It's a wild tattoo.
Yeah. So
Lux says.
it took me forever, but we did it, lads. We got it. We're getting
B,
it
is there
such
such thing as objectively bad art?
Ooh.
Any visual or musical art, is it objectively bad? And if you say yes, I want some examples.
I mean, there's always going to be people out there that enjoy something.
Right.
And just
Always
because
going to be people out there that enjoy something.
like just because
That's the
just because I don't dig
There's
it.
always going to be somebody that enjoys
Enjoy
A24
things.
content.
Yes.
I like A24. That wasn't what I railed against. I think it was pretty fun. I
Do you
railed
like
against
content?
people- I realized I railed against people who only talk about it.
Yeah, that gets
Not
annoying.
the actual production company, which makes
He
very
didn't
good
pick
films.
up on
It's the people. Anyway, this is about me. This is about me. This is about Bianca. What were we saying?
Yeah.
I'm all art can be objectively good. I think it really is up to everyone to decide if art is subjectively good. I don't know. I just think that there is art out there that I can't stand, but there's
Tell us what
people
it is.
out there that love it. Oh, okay. Who do I loathe?
Oh, shots fired. Be careful. Just
Hey,
said
man.
Damien Hirst.
Damien Hirst.
Damn, shots fired.
I don't like. I don't like Banksy. I don't like.
B does not
Shots
like Banksy.
fired. Shots
Shit.
fired.
Bruh.
Yeah, you
I
guys
don't
are
know,
like
I
you
feel
guys
like
are
that's
tearing
like a
down
kind of-
all the successful modern artists right now, huh?
I feel
Damien
like it's a
Hirst,
pretty
Banksy.
lukewarm.
It's gonna be like
take
Jeff Koons,
I
like
mean,
you know.
Jeff Koons kind of sucks. He can fight.
What was Go keep going.
Who else did I not?
Who
like?
else sucks?
Who else sucks? Whoever the art director is for the Marvel movies.
Damn.
The shit is too sterile.
It's so funny. So I was actually
I need Technicolor sci-fi.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, you
Speaking of-
found like a
Okay.
first edition print of some comic that you really like.
Jeff Koons. First edition, the Max. Yeah, I love that by Sam Keith. But I want to talk about everyone's now making fun of Jeff Koons. I was in Chicago this weekend for a
Did you
conference.
see
and
the giant shiny dog?
Well, hold on, I'm not done. Yeah, I did, but let me
I like
continue.
we're
Actually,
both
I was in
guessing
the
what we
gift
think he's gonna
shop
talk about.
for the Chicago Institute of Art, and in the
Yeah.
gift shop, you can buy those little balloon guys that Jeff Koons makes, but they're like licensed. They're by him, so you're technically buying his art. So they charge it's like gift shop art. You can buy it, but it's like $1,000, like $1,200 for one of them. And all it is just like it's the little dog, but it's like by him. You know, clearly not by him, probably by his team, right? Or whatever.
Yeah.
But like it's like I'm like wow, it's like here, it's fine art in a gift shop that you like it in mass-produced fine art in a gift shop. Then I'm like, oh man, this
Well,
feels,
you know what? I
this
can't
feels tacky.
I can't like turn my
And
nose
exploitive.
up to that too much because I also have my art in gift shops.
Okay,
So I
but this
can't
is
really.
You do?
yeah, I know. This is
Whoa. That's
you have your art in a
badass.
gift shop. I can go to a
There's
gift
a-
shop and buy,
so there's-
and it's like
there's
your
a-
art. Like
mhm,
this is authored
yeah.
by you.
Yes, so there's a couple brick and mortar.
It doesn't
stores
count
in
if it's in
South Philly.
Vapor 95.
Okay, it's a brick
No,
and mortar.
it's not. It's not. So
Oh, but
it's-
that's like actually dealing your art. This was in a gift shop, and there were multiple of them, and it was different, just
Okay,
different colors.
yeah. I mean,
This is
that's
very
true.
different. This was like a mass-produced.
True.
It was almost like, is this a statement, like sort of thing? But
Yeah,
anyway,
it really
continue.
makes you think. Like, is he
It
doing?
wasn't
on
like there was only
purpose, or
one
is he
balloon
making, like, a
dog you
big
could
dog?
buy, and you could get that, and it would be yours.
Yeah.
No, it was like multiple, just different colors, and they're all like authored by him, and it was like $1,200
Oh,
for each
no,
for any
man.
one of them.
I
So it was like
don't know.
like
I
a
don't-
really
I don't
expensive Funko
think
Pop,
that.
exactly.
Like I don't know. Like that's part of the reason why all of my 99% of the items that I have in my web store are like less than $10. Like I make it quick. I want people to be able to access it kind of quickly. Just I don't really. I don't know. Maybe because I'm not like a fine artist. I don't really see the appeal of a $1,200
Oh.
most likely mass-produced thing.
Isaac, you don't know
Um,
Cause?
No, what is it?
No, he's
Oh,
the guy
God.
kind of looked like evil Disney glove
Yeah.
hands and stuff.
Is he a character from the Marvel movie?
No, dude, no. It's you're getting them all wrong today, man. You're way off the mark with all these people you don't know. He's Causes. You know his work. Just Google him right now. You'll know
Yeah,
it right away.
KAWS.
Nice
you'll
of you
know
to
it
think
right
that my
away.
CPU can handle that right now.
You'll
He makes,
know
like,
exactly
art
who the artist
figures
is when
and
you see it.
stuff, Yeah.
Salad
Okay, let's
he
see.
makes salad fingers.
Leave
No, I
me
did.
alone, you
It's
people.
me.
no,
I'm trying.
no,
All right.
it's no. You know. I'm sorry.
I
but
actually
you
have
will know
never
who he
seen
is.
this guy.
Cause
I
his
heard
work
that
with like
couple.
you'll know. when you
He's
see
got
his
like
work.
these giant like heart looking things hanging out of people's heads, and like X's for eyes.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
I've never seen this guy before ever once.
Oh.
But be careful, wanted to know what you guys thought of him.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
I
I
live under a
hear
rock.
giggling, and I'm
You can hear the
I'm also
giggling? Oh, wow.
Yes, I love it.
is that Lux giggling in the background? I was
between-
like, what the
that's-
hell?
that
I've
door
never
is
seen
closed.
this bullshit. This is heart garbage. That's pretty funny. And I don't know. I have no real strong opinion one way or another about Cause. I don't
It
know.
reminds
It's
me
fine.
of the whole "I made
Mine-
you a cookie, but I eated it,"
I
like
made-
deviant art.
Man, I really love. This is great. You should be in
That's
charge
just-
of judging on
that is-
everything. Actually,
come on.
I like that a lot. That's great.
That
Cause is art is like,
2009 like MySpace art is you know what? That's objectively better than Cause. Fuck it. Like
I don't. Oh wow, man, you guys are like we're ripping apart some
you know,
sacred cows right now, huh?
Listen, he has $200 billion. He
has
can
a
handle
lot
a
of
couple
billion-
he has a
crappy
lot of
words
money.
about his work.
Wow.
Yeah,
He can handle
He can
this.
handle it.
He's
He
fine.
can handle it. He can handle
Yeah,
this on
you
on
can
these
definitely
punch up to
vaporwave
that
talk
guy.
show.
Yeah, it's
Bro,
okay.
What
I
about
posted-
the guy who's the one that was famous not too long ago at Art Basel with the banana?
Oh God! You know what? And I'm reading a manga about art school, and they just mentioned that guy in the most recent volume.
Yeah,
and I don't remember his name. I don't remember
Mr.
because they did not
Banana.
mention his name in the book. And they eat
Cap-
the banana. And then they put a
Captain
banana back up
Orangutan,
again.
I assume is the name of the artist. I really hope the artist. I know it's not. I've seen him before, but I really just wish the artist was like an orangutan in a suit.
Yes, I wish it was. I wish it was Coco. I wish Coco did that.
Quiz keeps asking about RRR.
Oh,
What is that?
Not. It's like a 3-hour amazing film about love and friendship. And
What do the R's stand for?
I don't remember.
Damn. Guess I'm gonna have to see RRR.
You should, and you know what? The version on Netflix is, and that's the one that me and
Revolt.
yes, it's about like Indian revolt against the British occupation at the time. But I watched it. it's crazy. I watched it I'm pretty sure I watched it the same like night that Dark Life came out because I was down the shore with a friend that I had actually made through their Discord server, and it just happened that the live stream was going to be one of the nights that she was staying over. So we're like, all right, we're gonna listen to Dark Light for the first time together.
That's special.
But then we also watched RR together, and it's a lot of fun. It's long, but it doesn't feel like it's beating you over the head like other ridiculously long movies. But the version on Netflix is also apparently in a different language and has sort of like a leans a different way in its translation.
Shit, Quiz hooked us up with the original language. I don't want to mispronounce the name of the language.
It's
That's badass.
Telugu, I believe. Oh, it's an S. Okay. Yeah.
Oh, you were watching it with Aloe? Oh, that's cool.
Yeah!
Shout out
Awesome.
Aloe Obscura.
Yeah.
Shout out
Aloe Obscura
Special.
came down the shore.
Awesome. That's awesome.
Nice.
Oh, girl, by the way,
can I
Devin,
answer?
Please
I
do.
want to ask a question that's out of character for me. Ready? Hello? Did I lose you?
Yeah, we
go for it.
can see you.
Yeah. I have a question because I feel like this is one of the few times that we've had this podcast and nobody talked about video games. And I saw a joke that John Luke was in the chat being like, ask Skelly about video games or talk about video games with Skelly. Because I famously don't play video games.
Okay. Yeah.
It's basically, do you play video games? Is that do you like them?
Yeah, I like them. I don't play a whole lot. Definitely not as much as I used to. I used to be able to park myself in front of a game for like 9 or 10 hours a day, just get real sucked into it. But I suffer from migraines now, and
Oh
whatever
no!
whatever my hand is doing in my old age. So I
That's
only get like a
rough,
couple
man.
hours in a day, but I've really gotten into MMOs over the last couple of years. Never really something I played growing up, but I picked up Final Fantasy 14 a couple years ago, and now I'm
Very
getting really
cool.
into Final Fantasy 11, and they're both paid services, so I'm just like putting in as many hours as I can muster. And 11 has been.
Are you playing them on console or on PC?
I am playing 11 on the PC, and
Okay.
I don't have a whole lot of. I have a Switch, I have a PS
Nice.
Vita, but in terms
shout
of
out PS
consoles, like,
Vita.
I am trying to get my hands on a 5 so I can play
Yeah,
the next
same sort of.
chapter in the 7 remake, because as of right
It's
now,
not going to be
that's only
available for the 4?
No. No,
Fuck,
it's
I
a
didn't know
5
that. Thank
exclusive
you so
right
much
now.
for telling me that. I did not know
yes,
that.
Absolutely. Yes. Oh my god. So I do want to get that. I want to kind of wait until I get that so I can play the Crisis Core remake, because I had
Right.
a PSP growing up as well. So it's like
PSP was an underrated.
Yeah. My first Final Fantasy game was Dissidia on the PSP, which
I
is a
love
really
Dissidia
weird game
so
to start
much.
off with. Yes.
Who did
So
you main?
that's a lot of fun. Oh, I don't know.
You
I like
fucked up,
playing
Chris. Who
Terra.
did you main?
I like,
Terra?
yeah, Terra is a lot of fun. So I do need to
Hell
play
yeah.
6.
I always
play
mained Zidane, and then when I played Duodecim, I mained Squall.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Sick. I love
had-
Dissidia. Like, nobody's played Dissidia.
Oh,
And the PS4
yeah.
Dissidia was terrible.
Oh, there was one for the 4, huh?
The PS4 Dissidia
Okay.
was like a battle royale version of it. Like, there was no campaign version at all.
Oh, okay. Well, I know.
So
I'm glad I'm not missing out
what
there.
Dissidia Final Fantasy is, Chris, is, the long-running series.
Of course.
They have
We've
every
been through
single
that.
antagonist and every single protagonist can fight each other.
Oh, it's
So
a fighting
all the
game?
hardcore fans, can like they're just like, I'm gonna take my favorite character and fight my favorite villain or whatever.
Was it fun?
It was super fun. It was on the PSPs and like nobody's played it.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh!
it was
Why
a
would
lot
no
of
one want to
fun.
play? I guess because it's not a Final Fantasy game; it's a fighting game.
It's one of those,
How would
like,
people want it,
comp-
really, right?
off
I love
made
playing. That was the one thing.
non-canon games.
There's only 2 video games that I would ever really play, and that would be fighting games, like Mortal Kombat. It was really fun to do the finishing moves. And other thing I would play would be like Doom, but just with all the cheat
Yeah.
codes on, because I would just run through it and everything.
Did you play Randy Blaster?
I haven't played Randy.
You haven't played Randy Blaster?
I've watched Nano's stream.
Nice.
For it. It's always fun. It's
I'm
fun to
excited.
watch it. I like watching it, and I watch that stream all the time. The one that Nano does.
Yeah.
Sick. Those guys are
They go
hilarious.
through the development of it. That's really fascinating.
Oh my
stuff.
god.
Right. So much skill in this scene.
Am I sitting on
Absolutely.
Adonis? No, he's right next to me.
We were wondering, Chaser Wave, what is Bee Fant's current Pokemon team?
Oh,
Oh,
gosh.
look at the cat.
I only have a couple hours in Scarlet. I picked Fuecoco as my main, my starter. I do have a Fido, which is amazing. I treat it like it's my own dog, even though my own dog sits next to me when I play. I could be playing with my own dog, but I'm playing with this virtual dog instead.
Is your dog in the room right now?
My dog is downstairs because he would not. He wouldn't leave me alone if
I
he were
gotcha.
in here with me. I feel really bad because people know Sunny, but he's in his little enclosure space until I'm through, and he'll come in my room and we'll probably hit the sack.
Very cool.
Yeah, he's a great boy. I've had him. He's our first dog, and he turned 11 in September.
Aw,
So
happy
he's-
birthday.
He's getting up there, but he's good. He's a good guy.
B, when you're making friends with somebody, are you the kind of person that really, really wants to show them the music that you like? Or do you kind of like hold back and keep it to yourself?
You gotta wait a little bit, I think. And I was able to make a friend down. Well, he's not always down here, but when he's down here, we do orchestra together. He does the piano accompaniment, and he works
Nice.
in a restaurant. He plays the piano down here for restaurants and stuff. So, but we eventually got tight over music taste. We liked Black Midi. We went to go see Black Midi together on a whim. We're gonna go see Lingua Ignota next week.
Ooh.
Oh, lovely Nada.
I got him
I
to
thought she
listen to
quit
Dark
doing
Life.
music.
She's
Maybe I misheard.
putting
There you go.
no. So
No.
this Lingua Ignota project is coming to an end, but
I
she's going to be
gotcha.
making music in like a different sort of capacity.
That's cool.
Yes, yeah.
A lot of
she
people are
just
big
stopped
fans.
completely, I would have been like really sad. But yeah, he heard EDS name dropped on the Needle Drop, and
Ooh.
he's like, "Oh yeah, you played this song for." I played him a track off of "I'll Try Living Like This" while we were waiting between dress rehearsal and a performance. Oh God, what did I play? I wish I knew the translated names. I am a fake Shroud. I played track.
No. I wasn't. I didn't mean that. I
know. You're joking.
You have like a go. I just thought like you sometimes people have a go-to song that they play from their favorite band.
Yeah.
But sometimes it just can be anything, you know.
Yeah, I played track 4, and then I showed him "Loving Is Easy," and then he heard "Dark Life" when it came out, and that was really exciting.
Very cool.
Yeah, I don't know the names of the songs, but I have a Ghost Diamond tattoo on my leg, so I make up for it there.
Wild.
So if somebody asks about the tattoo, you have to be like, "Hang on, just a second.
Well, give me a minute. Let me just.
Are you ready to sync up?
Yeah. It's in a spot where you can only see it in the summertime too, so it's like nobody knows I'm a Shroudy until I take the pants off.
I'm stealing that. Even though I don't have any tattoos.
I'm a Shroudy until I take my pants off.
Pants off, I'm a Shroudy. Fuck your life.
Out of context, that sounds so crazy.
Quiz. Another movie question. What is a movie that always makes you feel better when you're down, and why? And do you have any favorite songs from the soundtrack, perhaps?
God, he put me in a corner with this one because he knows I'm going to say Mishima. He knows I'm going to say that. Yeah, you put me in a corner, man. Yeah, Mishima is one of the most like depressing movies I have ever seen, but I feel like whenever I watch it, it's like it takes like a screenshot of where I am currently in my life, and I just kind of like step back and like, reassess everything. Creatively, especially, like I don't know what it is about that. I think it's the way it's kind of structured to go back and forth between an autobiographical narrative and like snippets of his like depictions of the plays that he's written during his life.
Who directed this film? I've not even
Paul Schrader.
Paul Schrader.
Paul Schrader.
Yeah.
Paul Schrader. I haven't seen any other Paul Schrader movies.
You never seen any other Paul Schrader movies? You never seen like Taxi Driver? Like he wrote that.
Oh, he wrote that. I was like, that's a Scorsese film.
Gotcha. I was always a big fan of Autofocus. That's actually a Paul Schrader film that I very much enjoy.
Writing that one down. Just writing down everything.
It's all about the guy. It's all about the main actor from Hogan's Heroes and his bizarre sexual lifestyle and like weird proclivities and how he approaches it in this really just strangely like mundane sort of like almost like 50s-ish way, but like, you know, with his like sort of attitudes and his, well, gee golly, I sure would like that. And it's like a strange orgy. Yeah. He was so weirdly self-destructive.
I've seen Hogan's Heroes, so I
the main actor for
like,
was a bizarre pervert.
Sure.
Like,
yeah,
he was a bizarre pervert, like who like didn't even like have like no self-awareness of how bizarre he was. It's a very interesting study of you know.
So Lux and I watched Dead Ringers for the first time several months ago.
Cronenberg,
and it's like one of, I believe you said it was one of your favorite films, Chris. And
it's a film I like a lot. Yeah.
I don't know if it was one of your favorites. I don't want to put words in your mouth, but you said you liked it a lot, or maybe it was your favorite Cronenberg film.
It's not my favorite Cronenberg film.
Well, I don't know what you said, Dan, but you expressed
I like it a lot, though.
I really like it.
You liked it,
and it is
my favorite Cronenberg film.
It's super aesthetic. Anyways,
you think about that for a minute.
If you want an aesthetic movie, watch Dead Ringers.
Yes, really bits of it, but Cronenberg makes me a little queasy sometimes.
True.
Mm-hmm.
Like Existence, like kind of.
I've not seen
that's right. My favorite Cronenberg film was Crash.
Oh, okay, cool.
The one about the people who get turned on by getting in car accidents.
You would.
That sounds on brand.
It's really dark and fun and sexy and dangerous and very dangerous film too. Like really just like no good here. There's no good here, no redemption here. Like it's just I love stuff that just like come in. It's going to be beautiful and it's going to be very well done and moody and eerie and intelligent and it's no good. There's no good here whatsoever.
You get done watching it and you're just
no
like,
good.
ugh.
Only bad, dangerous things here. You know,
See, I'm not allowed to watch those kinds of movies.
You shouldn't
with
even
Lex.
let your mind go into these worlds. And we're going to surround you in these worlds that you shouldn't even go in. You know what I mean? It's the sort of shit that probably those people that complained about that person earlier wouldn't like. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Remember my hot take earlier today? Those people like horror films should be for families.
Yeah.
Why would you put anything controversial that might make me uncomfortable? This is a sensitive topic in a horror. It's fucking horror. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I don't understand that either. I thoroughly agree with
It's a
what you said.
sensitive topic. Shut the
On that
fuck up.
note, what is your
Like,
favorite
seriously,
Christmas movie,
go
B?
home.
Shiny Crystal
My
Pistol would
favorite
like to
Christmas
know.
movie?
Yeah.
My favorite Christmas movie is a Satoshi Kon
I do like
movie
Ken
called
Park.
Tokyo Godfathers.
Yeah, that's
I
true.
love
I do
Tokyo
like that movie.
Godfathers.
That's the best Christmas movie.
Chris, have you seen
Not
Tokyo
convinced me
Godfathers?
otherwise.
Yeah, I have. It's great.
Chris
Love
likes
that.
Satoshi Kon too. Sick.
Got that shit on
Oh my God,
vinyl.
Satoshi Kon! You don't even understand. Strange. Well, yeah, there's another person that probably those people would be like, "This is not sensitive enough." Like, God, Strange Circus, shit like that. Hey, God, that's some weird. My favorite. Not Satoshi Kon. I'm getting them confused. But yes, I love Satoshi Kon. I love Tokyo Godfathers. Obviously, you all
Me
know
too.
Paprika is like my favorite film of all time. Almost.
Paprika's
It's
fucking
definitely one of my
phenomenal.
favorite films. Yeah, you would think I'd talk about Perfect Blue, right? But no, I like Paprika 1,000 times better.
Yeah, Paprika seems
Paprika's
real
so much
brand for
fun.
you right now. Yeah.
I just love
Gummo,
all
yeah,
the
Gummo's
characters
one of
in
my
Tokyo
favorite films,
Godfathers.
actually, Strip Silence.
Oh, Gummo? Yeah, that one's also off limits.
I love
for
that.
me.
When I was in college,
will-
I'd like make everybody watch it, and then they would be upset.
I will come out of that movie a different person, and I don't want to know what that person.
Well, I
is.
just like it because
Yeah,
the
I'm good.
entire environment is its own character, which is interesting.
Yeah.
All the weird digressions makes me happy.
I think the worst scene is the kid eating the spaghetti in the
Oh, I love that scene. That's
filthy
Werner Herzog's
bathtub
favorite scene in the film.
while his mom is washing his hair and he's eating a Butterfinger and it falls in the tub.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like I'm a big fan of cursed food memes, and I'm just like, this is
That's
where
it starts. That's definitely a cursed food.
started.
man.
Solomon
Yeah.
or whatever with the crazy hair.
Yeah, that's like the whole cursed aesthetic. I think in general on the internet, that cursed aesthetic, they have like everything to thank Harmony Korine for that.
Yeah, shout out
Yeah,
Harmony Korine.
probably.
B, have you ever
But
shown
real-
somebody? I'm sorry. Go ahead. Finish your thought.
Real quick, back on this the Tokyo Godfathers. A really fun thing about that soundtrack is it was written by Keiichi Suzuki, who also worked on the Mother 2 soundtrack.
Ooh.
And he has a really great side band that he is still actually making music for called the Moonriders. And
Okay. This is
they
good to know.
are Moonriders make the very like weird project, like it's labeled Zolo on Rate Your Music. I don't know exactly like what that sounds like. It kind of sounds like Wingo Boingo,
Really?
right? If it were Japanese, I guess.
Oh, that's fascinating.
But I have like an essentials playlist that I will probably post on Twitter after this because I think
would be
everyone should
badass.
listen to the Moonriders project for sure.
Very cool.
Big fan of Keiichi Suzuki.
Didn't mean to interrupt you earlier. I just wanted to know if you ever felt like when you were showing somebody a song or album, did you ever have the throwing your pearls before swine feeling? You ever heard that phrase?
I mean, can you define that phrase real quick? 'Cause I've
So
heard it,
throwing
but,
your
like, it's
pearls
not,
before
like-
swine is like it's a biblical phrase.
How do I
Surprised
know?
you haven't heard that with a
Yeah,
Catholic
Catholic
upbringing.
Yeah, just-
It's like
yeah.
when you put something that's very meaningful and precious, put it out there for somebody, and they just stomp all over it.
Oh my god, my ex hated vaporwave.
Oh wow!
You know what I mean?
Oh
So, like,
unfortunate.
no,
that's
hated it.
plain-
That's why they're your. That's,
Keyword
That's not,
X.
Yeah.
that's not
4
okay.
years with you think you know a person, and, you know, you're open to all of their recommendations, but God forbid you show them
Well,
something
were they
that you're
mean about
They
it? I mean,
didn't like
it's,
Death's Dynamic Shroud or anything.
They weren't. They thought I was spending more time with those individuals than them, the person I lived with.
That's
Damn.
We'll
sounds
just
like
leave that
I don't know, man.
as
sounds like there was something else going on. They were just using it as a
There
scapegoat.
most certainly.
If I know people, and I do know people, it's never what they're actually talking about. That's the problem.
Yeah, no, there were
They
some.
always people pick something superficial, and you're always talking to
They
paperweight
were-
people. Like, yeah, but what's really the problem?
There
actually?
were definitely some insecurities with the confidence in that relationship.
Well,
I mean, it's okay to not have the exact same hobbies and interests, but
No,
shared
that's
shared
not-
interests
yeah,
are really
when
some
it
special.
people-
You
became
know?
antagonizing, you know.
I know, but I will say that it does make things easier when you guys
Oh,
share
yeah.
a lot of things. You know what I mean?
Well,
I mean,
you've mentioned many
come on.
times, like,
You know,
as soon as you found out Wendy loved
you-
Clams Casino, you were like, all right, it's
made.
She's got better taste in music than me. Yeah, she's great.
you do be posting some obscure Witch House tracks, and I'm like, damn, Skelly, are you finding these, or are you being put on?
Oh, she puts me on the new tracks.
Either
all
way,
the
I'm
time.
just like,
Absolutely.
damn, like, that's really good.
She puts me onto a lot of those, actually.
I
for
swapped
sure.
track Rex with Wendy one night, and it was a lot of fun.
I want to try that.
Oh, you did? That's fucking cool as shit.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love
Well, you know,
hearing
she's
that
too
stuff.
busy for Instagram.
Anybody
but-
who wants
Yeah,
to,
she's
please go
really
feel free
busy.
to always send messages to Wendy if you want music recs or just want to talk to her. She's very cool.
She's super dope.
Yes.
Well, I'm sorry that you had that pearls before swine moment, but the reason I asked is I feel like it's kind of like a shared experience for people that are into niche art, especially when they're really young and they're getting into niche art, and like people's opinions of their tastes like matter to them still, you know.
Mm.
Yeah. Sorry, my AirPods just died.
No,
so
uh-oh.
This is how we're talking now.
Are you going to be okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Oh,
Iron-
you sound even. you sound
Ironically,
fine.
you actually sound
clearer.
better.
You sound clearer, actually.
I was just worried there was going to be an echo.
No,
I mean, it's
you're good.
I honestly thought about asking you to use the Max mic last night, but I was like, ah.
This is
I
good. I'm
always
using the
charge
Max mic
these
right now
things.
myself.
I don't understand.
That sounds pretty good, actually.
Yeah.
Um.
Golden.
Cool.
All right, Tuffy. What is
Yeah.
Tuffy.
what is a behavior in the art, the visual art, or the musical, the vaporwave scene? What is a behavior that you wish would stop?
I feel like sometimes people put themselves in shitty situations on purpose
Mm.
and
Yeah.
for the sake of their work.
Mm.
And people try to help pull them out of it, and they're just like, no, I gotta finish this, I gotta neglect my health for this thing, I gotta finish, it's gonna be so big, and you're gonna end up making more of them anyway, and if there's none of you left to make it, then like what's the point? So
It's a really good
and like
statement.
as someone who had been in like bad situations just to get through a piece, like I don't want to do that anymore.
Right.
So just really listening to my mind and my body and stopping when it's had enough, and then revisiting it later.
really
Advice.
good
Really
piece
good
of
advice. Really good advice.
Yeah, for all of us who have like a big person job and then want to create on the side, you definitely have to listen. For those of us that are aging as well, like you got to listen.
Yeah. Yep.
You know, you got to set boundaries with yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I
it's
feel
hard to
that.
remember to do that, but you know, you gotta at least listen to the people who are trying to remind you.
Good point. Quiz wants to know if you have any plans to release any more Dream Bee music.
I don't know. Like I said, I definitely want to do something with the violin work. I've been trying to like work on covers of like vaporwave stuff. Like there's
That's
pieces
cool.
of Dark Life that I'm trying to piece apart.
Wow.
I'm trying to piece apart like Steve Reich pieces to play on my own. Just putting it all in the G clef somehow. I had some grace of God figuring out how to do that again. It was either last month or the month before where Equip put out the mixtape in the Eclipse picks that was all like the golf soundtrack.
Mhm.
And just on a whim, because there was like and it was less than a minute, so it was pretty like I was able to chew on it without feeling too overwhelmed. I just kind of transposed that real quickly
Nice.
and recorded a little video of myself playing it, and I dropped it in the Eclipse picks, and I'm like, hey, I know how to do this. Like I can hear something and just play it back.
That's badass.
Granted, I'm not as great as I used to be at it. I'm pretty out of practice with it. I used to play every day for 12 years, and then I went to school and I stopped. But I wanna play around more with other people's music in this space before I try making my own. I think.
I mean, I think the idea of using. I think the idea of covering songs on violin is a really, really cool idea. At least just, at the very least, to get some creative juices flowing. But I mean, there are a lot of people that would really like that. Like, I remember when Jude Frankham did like a guitar cover of that "Birth of a New Day," the most popular song on that album, and I was just
really,
like, damn, it's like, yeah, it's like a really like sad, sultry, like electric guitar cover of the most popular song. I can't remember.
That sounds really cool. I'd love to hear that.
Yeah, it's just, it's really.
I finally listened to that album.
Yeah, it's pretty damn good.
Yeah, it's great. It was really good. Yeah. I get it. It's really good.
I like it a lot.
But I never listened to it.
It's a vibe, you know.
Obviously, it's supposed to be pretty good. I guess I should listen to this eventually. But there's a lot of things that are really good that you're like, okay, I'll get to it eventually. It was one of those. And yeah, it's good.
Yeah,
so
I got to it kind of late too.
There's so much, like, your to listen to list and your to read list and your to watch list are never going away. Like, they're always going to be there.
Away. There's so much stuff. I mean, I've had Twin Peaks on there for 15 years.
That's a great example.
Who should our next guest be?
Who should your next guest be?
I got a few people who I lined it up, but no one's got back to me.
Nathan's been on, right?
Nathan's been on.
Yeah, Nathan's been on.
Has Will been on?
Will came on with Nathan as iClick.
They both came on together for iClick.
Yeah.
Bianca, you know, I actually, and I'd like to. I'm figuring out a time to bring on. I'd like actually to bring on, you know, Andrew from or Bonneville or
yeah, we sat together at James's wedding.
Yeah, you know.
Wow,
so
that's
I actually
cool.
like to get. I'd actually like to get Andrew. I actually want to get Andrew on. He just came out with some new music.
My Mad Gear tape just came in today.
Yeah, he just came out with that, and then that one with the Bugs Bunny
cover. Yeah.
That I actually like to get. I actually want to get him on at some point.
Okay, yeah.
He's a really interesting guy. And so I'd like to bring him on at some point soon. I think you would probably not too familiar with him.
What's his project name?
Bonneville or Acer AV or Mad Gear. He's got a whole bunch of different.
Wait, Acer AV. Yeah, I know who that person is.
Yeah, he would say he is the. I would say he's a very interesting character. A bit of a mysterious or Diogenes-ish guy who has been a bit of a spiritual counsel for everybody, from myself to probably Bianca occasionally to James and to Fiverr. He's a hand moving through the scene. That nobody really knows about. He's a very mysterious figure. He's touched a lot of us. He's an interesting guy.
Well, we're gonna have to have him on.
I think so too. I'd like to get him on.
Pacific Plaza says
everyone should check out his new album.
Auto.
I'm gonna put a link for that right now.
And Rail says Geo Metro.
Geo Metro, that's the other name for him. Exactly.
That is, yeah.
That's it.
Oh, that's Geo Metro. See, I know them as Geo Metro.
Geo Metro. That's actually probably the most popular thing. Popular pseudonym. But I mean, I don't know why it just randomly was one.
Oh, Shiny Crystal
The current ones came to mind first.
You sweet summer babe. We had 18 Karat Affair on.
We had 18
Karat Wonderful
Affair on. We had a lot of people on.
Yeah, it's on YouTube. You can literally rewatch the episode. It was a wonderful. We've missed you. The quiz says Mesh needs to come back on with a working mic.
Oh.
For real though, like who would? Well, you mentioned some people, but they've already been on. Like anybody else?
Yeah,
you
definitely.
Think of?
Well, I definitely for real want to get Andrew on at some point in the near future. And then, but who else? Who else should we think about?
I co-sign that.
And Bianca co-signs getting Andrew on, so you guys should check out. That's the link for his most recent Bonneville album.
The upvote, courtesy of B. James Webster, the scariest DDS member.
You guys haven't had him on yet?
Who? James? Well, I was waiting actually, because we haven't. We've had everyone else from Death Dynamic Shroud on, but at the same time, I was like, well, I wanted to wait till the album came out before I had James.
Well, maybe if your guest that you were kind of.
And I've already talked to him, and I wanted to wait because I'm like, well, I didn't want to.
Wants to wait.
I want to have at least one more Death Dynamic Shroud member that we hadn't talked to for when Dark Life came out, finally.
Well,
so,
Get him on the
obviously
board.
James, and James is the one who I know the best, obviously.
If your
and
choice for
closest-
the
and I'm
next
the closest
episode
with,
doesn't
I wanted
come
to
through, maybe
save
you
him
should
until
get
after.
James.
But I think now they're probably very busy, and I did talk to them about they're very busy right now. But yes, I think but James has already agreed to come on. Just wanted to figure out a time for that to happen.
Yeah.
I have a MacBook soft replica. Thank you very much. How do you think I DJ?
We yeah, absolutely. We've had some people agree to who else? Okay, so James and Andrew are definitely ones we want on, but who else, Bianca? Who's another one?
Have you had any of the Virtua 94 guys on?
Yeah, we did. Had
Yeah.
Virtual 94 on. Had Andrew and Victor.
We need
both
to
come
have
on
some
at the same
people
time.
from other countries on. Damn it! All we have are
Well,
Americans.
That's true.
It's just really
trying to
hard.
figure out that one. I really would love to talk to like
Sands or something?
the Zero Trash Wave and
Okay, Desert
the
Sands,
Donor
all
Lines
right.
and all those guys. And we got to figure
Zero
out how
trash.
to do that.
Yeah. Donor
But I got
Lines,
to
yeah.
figure out how to do that because an eyeliner. Yeah, of course. All these people.
Have you
so
had
many.
have you had Trash Ghost on?
No,
No.
but we should.
We should.
Yeah. Get Tyler
My
on
Pet
board.
Flamingo, eyeliner. Nathan says that DDS is in a non-touring phase now. So,
They
Okay,
are,
I'll try.
yeah.
I'll hit up James.
well, as I was saying, if your first pick for the next episode doesn't pan out, I mean, it could be James, but we'll see.
More visual artists. What about visual artists?
Yes.
Yeah, we need to have Sega Octopus on.
Sega Octopus, Allure Artworks is another person.
Oh,
that
I met them
Allure
in person.
Artworks,
They're great.
Grocery shirts.
Allure
on.
Artworks
You
are
understand
great.
that Allure design, my tattoo and the skeleton lipstick, that new skeleton
Yeah, they did
lipstick
that.
logo with like the bust.
Yeah, get them on. Get them on the horn.
I've met
that's
them in
Allure who
person.
did
They're
that,
super
right?
cool.
Yeah, go for so. Yeah, that's,
LXTXCX.
Yeah,
Okay.
the skeleton lipstick bust with the face broken over with the skull and the lipstick. That's Allure design.
Get Luna on here. Is
Get them
Luna?
We had Luna on.
Oh, Lunitas. My bad.
Lunitas? We had
No,
Lunitas
no.
on.
He's talking about somebody else.
Oh, who's
Luna?
Luna?
Is that Tech's partner or am I?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, Luna's text. Oh, okay. Yeah. That's a good one.
Luna is a
Also, James's partner.
insane renderer.
Yeah.
Christina also illustrates too. Yeah, so
Yeah.
they're both
Damn, it's a lot of cool people in this scene,
with
man.
really cool visual artists right now. So, yeah.
Well, we're about out of time, but we want to give you a platform to promote yourself and shout anybody out or anything out that you want. Sorry, just anything that you have on your mind. You are very willing and welcome to say right now.
I mean, it's a crazy time of year right now. I'm sure everyone's kind of got some sort of anxiety going on around family or the holidays and stuff like that. So it's just really take time away from everything if you can, just a little bit, to assess your situation, check in with yourself. Am I good?
Yeah, one of the barber.
What I like to do with stuff like this is
Yeah.
convince myself that I am the only sane person in this room and everyone around me is a fucking moron. And I don't know if that's like a healthy coping skill for stuff like this, but it has gotten me this far without breaking any teeth.
I'm gonna try that at work tomorrow.
Listen, that's gets you through it, all right? Whatever it takes. And go listen to Hello Gravity by Truman Finney. That's a fun
Gravity.
Artist that I've discovered within the DDS Discord. So
Very cool.
yeah.
If you wanna plug that Patreon link one more time, Lux, that'd be super cool. Much appreciate what you do. Anything else you want to say, B, before we wrap up?
Thank you for having me on. This was a lot
it
of
was a
fun.
treat.
I had a very, anxiety-ridden day for other reasons, but
Aw.
this kind of helped me remember what's more important. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
That's what I'm talking
Love
about.
that.
yeah.
Love hearing that.
So,
I'm very glad that you joined us tonight, and thank you guys yourselves for being here. I don't
Thank you for
really
watching.
have. What'd you say? Thank you for watching.
thank you for watching.
I don't
Yeah.
have
Thank you for
much to
listening me
promote.
talk.
I was on Vapor 91.5 WML Lowell. I did a
Yeah.
45-minute vaporwave DJ set.
Amazing, by the way. That
Thank
was
you.
such a
You
fun
actually
time.
tuned in the entire
That was
time. And that was really
a
sweet of you.
blast. It's a late. These are late nights for me, but I do not
check out. I still need. Can you post the link? And I still need to hear. I still need to listen to it.
You know what? I'll DM it to you. Unless Lux wants to find it and post it. No pressure.
Yeah, DM it to me. I haven't had a chance.
Thank you, man. I was pretty proud of it. It's one of the last sets I'm doing on my my DDJ SR before I get comfortable with Record Box on my DDJ 1000. I'm working on getting the audio from the interview if anyone's actually interested in that. But
that
DJ
I would really like
been
to hear.
busy. Oh, you're so flattering. Working on a set for Coast to Coast Collective. That's coming up. Don't have a date for that yet, but it's probably going to be a wave music set. Lots of like Darko stuff like that. So that's pretty cool. Just no dates or anything. And that's it for me. What do you got going on, Skelly?
The Patch Note, my remix of Patch Note's song "Breathe" is out now on streaming services. Go listen to it.
Piece of music.
Oh yeah, we played an ad for the
is,
upcoming Patch Notes.
It's the lead single from the that is actually that remix that I did for Patch Notes is the lead single from the upcoming Patch Notes expanded edition of Golden Hour, which is being released by Pacific Plaza, I believe probably this Friday if I'm not mistaken. And so go check that out.
Oh, it's going to be at the end of January. Thanks, Pacific Plaza.
Never mind. End of January is what I meant to say. Okay, so that'll be out at the end of January. And check that out. The remix will be, of course, available on that as well. But you, for now, can stream it. So go listen to it. It's Bianca approved. There you go.
Sick. All right. So we are going to... We don't have anybody to rate tonight, so we're going to run a very, very special ad for the upcoming... I don't think it's upcoming at this point, but we're going to run an ad for the Pacific Plaza Christmas comp. And we're going to... Yeah, we want to thank everybody for tuning in and remind everybody to meet at the same time, same place, 2 weeks from now. That's December the 19th.
Oh, no, the show is at the end of January. The music is out Friday. Okay, I was right. All right, the show, there's the streaming event, right? Isaac, are we allowed to talk about
I'm sorry, Pacific Plaza. Thank you for I never really know like what's like, kosher to talk about or not, if it's been dropped or not. But all right. Thank you.
The album's out Friday. How about that?
I'm doing such a great job promoting, damn it. So stay tuned for a very special ad for Pacific Plaza. Stay tuned in 2 weeks for our next guest. We don't know who it is yet, but it's going to be good. And of course, an upcoming retrospective episode here pretty soon. Gonna have to start planning that one, Chris. So strap yourself in. Thank you guys again for being here. Thank you very much for your generous donation. Chase or Wave, Mossy Frog, thank you, Bee, for being who you are and doing what you do. And thanks, guys, for being a part of the Hot Takes Horde. Have a lovely night.
If you're dashing through the snow wondering what the dickens to give someone this Christmas, give them a
vaporwave tape.